Right.
Good morning.
Most impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Anakin. I agree.
You can count that one on me because
Oh, I'm going to. You're going on vacation tomorrow. Yeah. As long as I don't if I lose today, it will be the equivalent of a 28-3 Super Bowl. If I give it back, because we've had a perfect week till right now.
A U.S. men's soccer.
All right, you know what? I don't need that from you today. All right, I'm having a day already. I'm all up in my own fee-fees this AM for reasons I can't and shan't and won't talk about. But I'm already up in my own feelings today.
Hey, Rob, my arms are wide open.
Under the sunlight. That's 2 weeks away. It's 2 weeks away from yesterday. Not even 2 weeks away.
It's less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes. I go on vacation. I come back, work a couple days.
Welcome to this place.
Work a couple days and then hopefully not die in the heat trying to watch Creed.
I'll show you everything. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. It's going to be a night. And yes, to answer the question that none of you have asked, we are both off that next morning because we both will need to recover for very different reasons, I assume, but both need to recover nonetheless.
There's no assuming there. I've made it nearly 56 years without drinking. I'm not going to start now. If anything,
up to you.
I might lose some pounds. I'm okay with that too. So, I mean, it's more about, all right, I've went to the porta potty 10 times. I can't do this again. This line is dry, depends. I don't know.
Now everything has changed.
We looked up the set list, by the way. It's not bad.
No, I don't want it. I don't want.
No, I'm not going to tell you, but they have 2 songs that they play for encores, and I don't know if they play both for the encore or if they just like alternate it. I guess we'll find out.
They're both hits, right?
Of course.
Hits. Yeah, they're going to play both.
But the thing is,
and now the thing is, see, this is this fun guessing.
They don't have any new stuff, so everything's probably going to be the hits. It's not like they're out promoting a new album because, as far as I know, they don't have one.
I don't think so. Courtney does this when we go out to when we go to concerts.
Right.
She works up the set list.
I didn't know you could do that till you told me that she did that, and it's like, hey, Cameron, look at the set list.
Are you on board with that? That's a good idea to you.
Let me point out again, I have never been to this kind of concert before.
And it doesn't matter. Every concert has a set list.
The last concert I went to was Weird Al. I didn't have to look up and before that, it was probably like 10 years and it was a Christian concert. And it was it may have been even further back to where you couldn't do that at that time. So yeah, I mean, the internet wasn't that big when I was attending concerts. I was though, which is why I stopped attending concerts.
Anytime she and I go to a concert, she looks up the set list before.
I think it's a great idea. I don't know. I
hate it.
I get that you want to be surprised. Does she tell you?
No, because I demanded that she does not. There are very few things. Like I am 100% in our relationship. I am 100% the sensitive, go with the flow. I'm good for whatever. I'm the whatever you want, sweetheart guy. And when I say it, I mean it. Right? Like, what do you want for dinner? Whatever you want. I don't care. Right? Like, I genuinely don't care. And it's not that Rob's afraid to make a decision. It's just that, and this is something she is learning as we go through this wedding planning thing. I don't care about most things. Lonzo can probably attest to this, sharing an office with me for 3+ years.
Sometimes it's a problem.
Yeah. I don't care about most things. Whatever you think is best, 90%. When I do have an opinion, I'm going to stand all business about it. When I do have an opinion, I'll be like, look, this is the way it needs to go. All right. This is how it needs to be done here. But most of the time, I truly don't have an opinion. And so when I go 10 toes to the stand and say it in my chest, that means yes, this is what I want done. So one of the few things that I go chest out with her in the relationship is do not tell me the set list, because And I don't necessarily know that this is as a music guy kind of thing, but as a guy who loves music, when that first drum solo or guitar riff or bass line to a song that you truly love hits, and you like it hits what's about to happen, man, that dopamine rush is untouchable.
I figured that was part of it. And also deep inside you, the game show Name That Tune is in there. And you want to be able to name that tune by the first drum beat.
She and I are we both love that game. Like there's an app on the Alexa that basically is Name That Tune, right? And you play it and it starts playing the song, and then the first person to tell her to stop so you can guess and guess as correctly wins. And if you don't guess correctly, then the other person just has as long as they want while that song plays to get it right, right? So you kind of roll in the dice here. We love this game. We're both big Name That Tune people, and I can even go so far as to acknowledge she kicks my ass at it most of the time, which is, to music guys, is embarrassing, but I'm also a dumb person. So like it takes my brain a little longer to get caught up.
Is it genre exclusive or does it jump around?
It can be.
All right.
You can tell her like, hey, play that Name That Tune 70s or 80s pop or like 90s hip hop, or you can just let it go, which again, all good and fun. It's not that when it comes to a concert, it's that, and this man, I'm going to go full dork in the first segment of the show. I don't care. All right. I don't care. There are brain analysis studies that show. Do you know why pop music all has this, like it's all the same? The reason why is because we have evolved from our primate ancestors through survival by recognizing patterns. That's what we do. We recognize patterns because recognizing a pattern allows you to predict what's going to happen, and the ability to predict what is going to happen allows you to make changes to put yourself in a better situation at the conclusion of that pattern, right? So if you are walking through the African savanna and you hear, and your brain recognizes that when you hear coming from the woods, the next thing that happens is a tiger attack. And your brain puts two and two together that step A is, and step B is tiger attack. And your, primate co-part out there in the savannah does not recognize that pattern. What happens? You get to run away, live another day and reproduce while they become lunch, right? So we're pattern-seeking animals. And so the reason that we love catchy music that has a repetitive pattern is because when your brain, this is an evolutionary leftover, when your brain recognizes a pattern, you give yourself a dopamine hit. You reward yourself for recognizing patterns. It's how we became us. So in pop music, when there's, a hook or a riff that repeats throughout a song and you hear da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, and then your brain goes da-da-da-da-da-da-ba-ba, because that's where the song's going, you give yourself a dopamine hit. So as somebody whose favorite drug is dopamine, it's like a big problem in my life. As somebody whose favorite drug is dopamine, when I'm seeing an artist, especially when I'm seeing them live for the first time ever, as I will be with Creed, when that guitar riff starts for whatever song that I happen to love and it pops into my brain and I recognize what that song is, for me, it's like peak dopamine hit. It is the best I will feel that day. And for a Creed show, somebody who loves that band, that's going to happen 26 times over a 2.5 hour span.
By the way, I remember what the encore is. I don't remember the rest of the set list. I do know my favorite song is on there, and I'm not going to tell you which one it is. But what do you think they're going to open with? What do you think that's because I have an opinion of what I think they're going to open with. I think they're going to open with something like "What If."
That was exactly what I was going to say.
Because it's got to be something that's Tremonti's got killer riffs on the very beginning of it.
There's two ways a show like this opens. And yes, we are talking music out of the gate. Welcome to the Rob Brown Show. We're almost as much music as we are sports. Out of the gate for a rock and roll show, there are two ways to start a show. There's two best ways to start a show. You can either start at great one, lights out with like a one guitar riff that starts it, right? Just one guitar riffing up there and then bang, the lights come on. Or option number two is a wall of sound out of the gate, right? Just one big full band, wow. And to me, there's anything in between is a failure. Yeah, it's either you get that like that one note and then everybody kind of catches on to what we're opening with here, and then they hit you, or everybody in the band is just like rocks out from the opening note of the show, and it's just a wall of sound coming at you. I think Creed goes wall of sound to start.
So do I, but does opening band or bands, the last song of the band that's on before you, does that affect the first song that you do?
I mean, for me, that's a hard answer because I'm in a cover band. And
how much space is in between? Again, I haven't been to something like this. So how much space is in between bands?
Usually you'll get about 20 to 25 minutes of rollover.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I got to clear an entire band's gear off. And so the way
you know what? I've watched how WWE does it. Step it up, band guys.
Yeah, there's a difference between covering a ring mat and moving a nationally touring band's worth of gear. Because if you've done this, you know how diva musicians go about their gear. You know how diva they are. I cannot play. We were playing when we played for the Jefferson Starship show last weekend. The guy that was organizing the show writes, and he goes, we'll be using a festival kit. Festival kit is where your drummer, they have a set of shells up there, and then the only thing your drummer adds is like his cymbals and puts them where he wants. And there were 4 bands that day. All 4 drummers within 6 minutes were like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm bringing my own kit. So when we play that show, at any given point, we had like 3 kits up on the stage that we had to everybody else has to work around because all 3 drummers need their own kit. You know, the only difference between them and the guitar guys is that I have 3 pedals on stage. I only need 3. I have one that gives me a switch between clean and distorted, heavy crunch rock and roll. I have one that's just the volume increaser for when I'm going to play my like 2 lead solos throughout the show. And then I have a tuning pedal, and that's it. But the guy who played after me had, and I only know this because I counted them, 17 pedals on his board. 17. I'm like, dude, there is no way in hell you're using all 17 of these. And he goes, I honestly do, because I chain combinations for specific songs.
Did he?
Yeah, I watched him. He did. But it's also because this band was like a very artsy-fartsy rock band, you know, like, if it doesn't have this level of distortion, there's not even a point in playing the song, man.
So it's a diesel band.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I am going to go Kriegos Wall of Sound. But I would say in a concert like this, like, you have 3 rock bands, but they're all very different sounding bands. So I don't really think like what one does matters to the other. I'm going to go Wall of Sound out of the gate. And I'm also going to go Wednesday. I'm getting up at like 3 p.m. to drive back to Charlotte. That's the prediction for me.
Well, that's what you should do. I don't know what time I'll be up, but I won't be here. So, I mean, you know, there's that.
All right, we got a show lined up for you today, ladies and gentlemen, and a good one incoming. The great one, Lonzo, off for vacation starting tomorrow. So it's his last day until next Thursday.
Yes.
Till next Thursday, he'll be out at the beach.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but now.
So he'll be at some nondescript place.
Say that my house has security, and
no one knows where the hell you live.
Yeah,
and even if they did, I know where you live, and still couldn't get to your house if I had to. All right. Like I know not just where you live. I could probably to this day find the street you live on and still not find your house. You are the most safe from being robbed person I know.
That's not true. We've been robbed before. That's
okay,
the reason why.
Never mind.
That's the reason why we now have security.
Okay, fair enough.
They say it had to be someone who knew us.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Because there's been several people drive back here and go,
my point
I
still
didn't know
stands.
there was a house back there.
So my point still stands.
Yeah.
So
all my family have shotguns. That's all I'm saying. They're dotted on the property. So if you want to run the gauntlet to get back there,
Lonzo's house is booby trapped like a grown up Kevin Malone.
No, I'm talking about all the houses that the family owns the property and everybody has shotguns.
Yeah, I was just making a Home Alone booby trap.
No, that's true too. But
so there is a game that I would like to play with you all today, but it is a game that is only going to get played if you guys play, all right? If nobody participates in the game, I don't care. We won't do it, all right? Here's the game. Tomorrow are the ESPYs, an award show that I don't think that I have watched since like 2011. It used to be, the ESPYs, genuinely used to be one of my favorite things to watch annually. It was genuinely good. And I'm not like, it's woke. I don't care about that. All right. It got to the point that to me, It feels more like these awards are handed out to generate publicity than they are handed out by sports fans honestly selecting who the most deserving award winners are. That's all I care about. All right. I don't care about the woke. I don't care that they're I think diversity and inclusion in sports is good. Fight me. All right. I think everybody should feel welcome in sports. I just got to the point where it felt more like the award winners are being handed out based on who gets them the most clicks on the internet, i.e. Prince Harry winning an award for whatever the hell it is this year. The Pat Tillman Award, by the way. The Pat Tillman Award, which is like the only award on the ESPYs I genuinely care about. That and the Stu Scott stuff. I care about the Pat Tillman Award, and I'm like, Prince Harry, really? Is that that's the guy that you think is the guy, right? So I think it got to the point where it became basically every other awards show, right? So as a replacement for that, today I'm going to open up the floor for you to make nominations for the Zoe Awards. All right? The Zoe Awards are up for grabs today. And here's how it's going to work. I would like you to submit your category and your nominee. And for the record, you don't have to take this seriously at all. All right? I'm going to give you one right now. Straight out of the gate, my very first Zoe. I'm going to go the MVE, the most valuable eater of 2023-24. And we all know it's going straight to Joey Chestnut, but not why you think. Not why you think. Joey Chestnut is this year's Zoe Award winner for most valuable eater because earlier this week, Buffalo Wild Wings has been running an all-you-can-eat boneless wings thing on, I think, Mondays and Wednesdays, something. They've been running it for a while. And while Rob Brown is not in a position to participate right now, there's not much I love more than when a restaurant does an all-you-can-eat whatever special, okay? They were just about to end. It was ending at the end of July. Buffalo Wild Wings sent out a tweet to Joey Chestnut that said, yo, big dog, if you come by and you eat 200 boneless wings in one sitting, we will extend the all-you-can-eat boneless wings through the month of August. So what did JC do? He showed up at a B-Dubs earlier this week, and he knocked back 200 wings so that all of America can keep doing all-you-can-eat boneless wings at B-Dubs through the end of the month. As far as I'm concerned, Joey Chestnut wins this year's Zoe for the MVE Most Valuable Eater. So, throughout the show, please send me your award category and your nomination. And I will tell you that Zoe and I will reserve the right for any one of them to put forth our own nominee in that category and then put it out to you guys for a vote. Zoe Award voting is open. We're back after this on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate. All right, let's go get my pen.
Should I have breaking news? Biden has turned down the invitation to play golf for $1 million that Donald Trump put out. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
He challenged him for $1 million to charity.
To play golf?
To play golf, yes. Whatever, dude. It's still $1 million to charity. Go get your pen.
I'm actually good with that. And for the record, I'd watch that before I would ever watch whatever the match is.
A lot of people have said they've watched this rather than watch another debate. But
yes, for sure. For sure. If you put a GoPro in like the top of that golf cart, because you know they're using golf carts, put a GoPro in that golf cart with a mic on both, I'm watching that immediately. I just despise American politics in 2024. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
I love the last line. Joe Biden doesn't have time for Donald Trump's weird antics. He's busy leading America and defending the free world.
I mean, I think that's a phrase that everybody uses for the president when their president's in the office.
Oh, there's a lot of other things which are all political, but
for sure,
still,
nobody can have conversations without it devolving into.
Well, it is to politicians, but still. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I would be interested in that golf match.
For sure.
I mean, Biden bragged about his golf game, and so he challenged him to. And
Trump's a pretty good golfer,
yeah,
but also a massive cheater on the golf course.
well,
So, like,
I've never played with him, so I don't know if he cheats or not.
I don't know too. There's a billion stories, including some of his friends that have said it. All right.
I believe it was the wonderful movie One Crazy Summer where Teddy's dad said, "If you're not cheating, you're not trying, you're not my son."
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Bobcat Goldthwait in it. It's got Demi Moore in it. It's John Cusack. Matuzak's in it before he died. It's another 80s stupid teen film kind of thing, but it's on Nantucket.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
Rich Little is the DJ at the end. They hit his DJ booth in a lighthouse with a rocket launcher. I mean, classic.
So today, and maybe tomorrow as well, we'll see how it goes, depending on if you guys care about this at all. Today, we are handing out the 2024 Zoes. The Zoes are the Rob Brown Show Awards to counter the ESPYs. However,
if I win an award, will you accept it for me? Because I was unable to be here.
Yes, but as per the rules, if I accept it, I get to keep it.
That works.
Okay. So we
You should also keep that in mind on August 3rd. Something should happen.
We are handing out the Zoes today, but here's the difference between the ESPYs and the Zoes. The ESPYs, they put out their nominees. The nominees are out. In fact, we're going to be talking about reading through, looking at some of these over the next couple of days. The Zoes are awards that we hand out on the spot. We make up the categories, we make up the nominees, and we hand them out on the spot. I have already given out one Zoe, the MVE, the most valuable eater. It goes to Joey Chestnut, not for anything that he has done at eating competitions the last couple of years, but as I mentioned, going out there, because Joey Chestnut accepted an offer and a challenge from Buffalo Wild Wings and earned America another month of all-you-can-eat boneless wing day at Beat Up Threes. To me, that sacrifice is what that is. That's sacrifice. That's a guy putting the nation above himself, and that should be rewarded and respected.
Thank you, Joey.
Thank you, Joey. Hashtag thank you, Joey. That's a guy who goes out of his way for it. So MVE goes to Joey Chestnut. Are there any other nominees for the award? And this is how it's going to work. You submit your category. You submit your nominee. And then Zoe and I will discuss and debate. We will see if there are any other candidates that we would like to nominate. If there are not, we will hand out the Zoe to your submission, your nominee. If Zoe and I come up with other nominees, then we will put it to the fan vote. And I will tell you that we will accept votes on the stream, Facebook.com/TheFanUpstate, Twitter.com/TheFanUpstate, The Fan Upstate on YouTube, The Rob Brown Show on YouTube, The Rob Brown Show on Twitch. If you go to, you have to go to those outlets. But if you go to any of those outlets and you comment, it will show up on our stream chat. We will take your vote that way. And we will take your vote on the text line at 71307, 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N, FAN, F-A-N, and we'll read them on the air. So, your submissions for category and your submissions for nominee are now open at this point. Who do you want to nominate and for what? Carpool Mom has got today's first Zoe nominee, both category and nominee, Lonzo. She said, category FAO, favorite American Olympian, and she is nominating Katie Ledecky as the winner of the Zoe for favorite American Olympian. Do you have other nominees for this category, Zoe?
I have to think about it. But as of now, no. I mean, because when you think of the Olympics, you either think of Summer Olympics, you either think of swimming or you think of basketball. I'm not going to nominate anyone on the basketball team.
I don't think that's unfair. I also, let me phrase that. I don't think it's unfair, but I'm going to do it anyway. And it's not as a response to Carpool Mom, because I do think Carpool Mom has the winner. I am going to submit a nomination based on number one. I just like competition, and I think we need it, right? I would like to hand out very few Zoes on the first nominee. And number two, because while I don't think this cat is going to win, I also look and I'm curious as to the popularity of this athlete. The popularity of this athlete in relation to a swimmer. Because I do wonder if we were to go back and, a year and go around and ask the question, do you know this athlete? What percentage of people would know Katie Ledecky? I'm not saying the answer is like small. I think well over half would. But would it be like half? Would it be like 75%, 60%, 90% of people would go, oh, that's the greatest American swimmer on planet Earth right now, Katie Ledecky. And I think it's fair. So I'm going to nominate someone, Zoe, on the basketball team who has been to the last 3 consecutive Olympic Games, has won a gold medal in the last 3 consecutive Olympic Games, and it is somebody that has won a gold medal in the last 3 consecutive Olympic Games while being, now I'm not going to say arguably, I think definitively, while being the best Olympic basketball player on planet Earth. I just gave it away. I am going to nominate Kevin Durant onto the Zoe for favorite American Olympic athlete. Why? Because here's why I think this nomination is very fair, Lonzo. Because as we talked about yesterday with you and Steph Curry, when they pull on the U.S. jersey, I don't care about burner accounts, and I don't care about bleep talking in the NBA, and I don't care about drama, and I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is when they pull on the stars and stripes and they go represent the U.S. in the Olympics, are they a good and successful representative of this country, especially when it's one of our sports? Basketball is our sport. The world is dramatically better at it than it's ever been before. But Kevin Durant is one of the reasons that we have 3 consecutive Team US gold medals in basketball. He is one of the reasons that, I hope, we're about to get number 4. I don't care about the burner accounts and all the jokes and all of that. I care about winning, and Kevin Durant has done that over and over and over, and hopefully over again this summer in Paris. I'm going to put Kevin Durant up on the nomination list alongside Katie Ledecky.
So you're putting up a guy who's injured right now and could possibly decide to not play.
He is not going to not play. He is going to miss the Canada friendly tonight, which is interesting because Canada's absolutely a medal finalist potential this year. But the expectation, per Steve Kerr, is that when we take on Australia in 5 days in our second of 3 friendlies, he will be available, probably unlimited minutes. And then 2 days later, when we take on Serbia, which of course is our opening round opponent with Nikola Jokic, Durant is expected to be a full tilt go for that contest on the 17th. A week later, we will get the Olympics underway. But again, even if Durant is, let's say, a limited participant in the Olympics, my guy has been full go for 3 straight and won a gold medal in 3 straight while also leading all-time Team USA point scorers in the Olympics. He has done more for Team USA basketball in the Olympics than any other player ever. And I am going to say, for that reason, Kevin Durant is going to join Katie Ledecky on the Zoe nomination list for favorite American Olympic athlete. I like the nomination, Carpool Mom. Good call. Thank you very much. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take your votes right now. 2 ways to vote. Number 1, join us on our live stream, which you can do by going to facebook.com/thefanupstate, twitter.com/thefanupstate, or thefanupstate on YouTube, or you can search The Rob Brown Show on YouTube or The Rob Brown Show on Twitch. If you comment on any one of those platforms, it will show up on our stream chat and we will tally the votes. You can also vote by texting 71307 and just text Fan Ledecky or Fan Durant. Are there any other nominations we want on the table right now? Is there anybody else? I'm racking my brain. We have a vote for the nomination of Sha'Carri Richardson, which I think Sha'Carri Richardson has had some, and I don't care about them. She got busted up for weed, if I correct. I don't care.
I don't know if that's, I think it might have been performance based.
I mean, only if there's a, what did Robin Williams say? Only if there's a snicker at the end of the track. All right, I'm going to look up why. If it was PEDs, and I'm not going to lie, I'm blanking off the top of me head. I don't know why I'm blanking off the top of me head. That was dumb. I'm bad at this. Yeah, missed the Tokyo Olympics after testing positive for marijuana.
Okay, so I was wrong.
Which I hate. Send her anyway. She's going to kick everybody's ass. Who cares?
No, there are rules. And if you can't abide by the rules, then you pay the consequences.
Nah,
and she did not abide. So
it's a stupid rule.
Well,
who cares?
Apparently this time she went, okay, I'm not going to do that. Good for her. She learned her lesson. Not a stupid rule.
But as she did not participate in the last Olympics, I'm going to say that Sha'Carri Richardson is ineligible for the award this year. Now, if she goes over to Paris and she dominates the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris, which I'm going to be straight up, I don't know if she qualified. I think she did. I've seen her in all the promos, so I'm going to assume that she did.
Who's Sha'Carri Richardson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the race.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am also going to say, because we've got 2 nominations now, including Miss April on the stream, who said Simone Biles. Simone Biles did not participate in the 2020 Olympics. Remember, she had the yips.
I thought that was at the Olympics where she went home.
Oh, sorry. I lied. She did participate, but she took home a silver bronze in the team exercise, which is not her. And she took home bronze in the balance beam. So my question here, great one, is, and you know what? I will reconsider. I will allow you to have the ultimate decision, as you do with every other decision on this show. Here's my question. Simone Biles was, by Simone Biles standards, Simone Biles was unsuccessful at the last Olympics. She won a silver for the team, which was a team effort, and she won a bronze in balance beam, and that was when she went, I got the yips, I can't compete right now, and she pulled herself out of the mix. Which, respect for that decision, right? Respect not going out there and trying to force that thing. Does Simone Biles catch a nomination for one individual medal in 2020, 4 golds at 2016, and making her much anticipated return in 2024? Is Simone Biles a candidate for favorite American athlete, Lonzo? I will let you have the decision there.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I mean, she came home with, even after struggling with what she did, she still won medals.
I mean, she won medal. She was on a team that won another.
Which
is fair, because I said Kevin Durant won golds.
Did she not contribute points to that team?
Not, if I recall correctly, and again, I could be wrong, not very many. I think she only did
it's, if you contribute a point, you've contributed to the team.
Okay. All right. So then I am going to say,
if you're the slowest leg on track on a relay, and you guys still win. You still contributed.
All right. So then I am going to, for lack of any others, I am going to close the nominations for the Zoe for favorite American athlete to Katie Ledecky as nominated by Carpool Mom, Kevin Durant as nominated by Rob Brown, and Simone Biles as nominated by Ms. April. Who's the winner? We will take your votes during this break and only during this break. When we come back, we will award the Zoe for America's favorite American Olympic athlete, and we will set up the next category. Your votes are welcome right now on the text line at 71307, 71307. Start your text with FAN. On our stream chat at the Fan Upstate on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, The Rob Brown Show on YouTube or Twitch. Those are the only two ways to vote. Biles, Ledecky, Durant. We will tabulate your votes and give you the winner when we come back on The Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. That's wins in 4 straight, announcer, dude. 2 against Philly, 2 against Philly, 2 against Arizona. This is old. It's from the day before. Chris Sale started last night.
No, you're right.
Morning, AP Dub. All right, stream chat right now. Simone Biles is in the lead with 5 votes. Katie Ledecky has 4. Kevin Durant has 1. All right, handing out some Zoe Awards today as we get prepped for the ESPYs tomorrow night. And perhaps more consequential, Lonzo going on vacation for a week. First category as nominated by Carpool Mom. And Lonzo, I'm going to let Jesse, I said I was going to take votes during the break. I'm going to let Jesse's vote count here. And I'm going to adopt a thing that I hate. I'm going to adopt the Upstate Pulse's tiebreaker vote. And here's why. Because during the break, I asked for your votes for the Zoe Award for FAO, Favorite American Olympic Athlete. Katie Ledecky was nominated by Carpool Mom. Simone Biles was nominated by Miss April. Kevin Durant nominated by me. Through the break.
We never voted. You and I. Do we not vote?
Well, I mean, I'm voting for my own nomination. So actually, I take it back. I don't need the text line. Lonzo, you're the tiebreaker. Katie Ledecky received 5 votes. Simone Biles received 5 votes. So Lonzo, your vote, because the voting is closed on the text line, your vote will determine America's favorite Olympic athlete, and the Zoe Lonzo goes to.
All right. I don't know if she is. I think she might be. If not, she will be soon the most decorated women's swimmer. So I'm going to go with Ledecky.
I believe, and I will have to look this up, if she becomes the most decorated American swimmer, I also believe she's in contention for most decorated Olympic athlete. Because if she outperforms, Phelps is right now, right? So if she outperforms Michael Phelps, doesn't she become most decorated Olympic athlete?
Well, according to the internet, 3 female swimmers, Jenny Thompson, Dara Torres, and Natalie Coughlin, all have 12.
Okay. Michael Phelps has 28 right now, including 23 golds, making the most successful Olympian of all time. How many Olympic medals does Katie Ledecky have? Katie Ledecky, she has 10. She would have to be consequential for 2 more games.
Yeah,
to
but she can be the most decorated woman in America, though, because they have 12.
Correct.
And I don't know how many races she's in, but she's usually in a ton.
Yeah. So she's got 10 so far, 7 gold, 26 world championship medals, a record for female swimmers. So Lonzo is the deciding vote, and we are handing the Zoe for favorite Olympic athlete to American swimmer Katie Ledecky. Well done. Jesse came in with the save to give Ledecky the tying vote during the break, and then it earned Zoe the opportunity to vote for her to win the Zoe. So the Zoe goes to Katie Ledecky. Here's a category that I wonder if we are going to be able to come up with nominees for this one. Great one. The Zoe for Most Valuable Cheater Award. The first nomination goes to Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines. Quote, not only for getting away with cheating for an entire season, possibly more, but then going on to win the national championship thereafter. I'm going to tell you, I can come up with some other cheaters. It's going to be real hard to knock down the team that cheated, then won the Natty, and everybody just kind of pretended it didn't happen.
And then he went away. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything more famous cheating wise. I mean, without him, we don't have the Blenders, right? I mean, that was all CSI Michigan, wasn't it?
Bum, bum.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. I got to tell you, I'm racking my brain because the only other thing I have is Garrett Cole with the sticky stuff. Remember, because Garrett Cole, when MLB banned the sticky stuff, Garrett Cole got suspended for a while, and then his pitching, granted, he came back and won the Cy Young, but his pitching kind of went in the tank for a hot minute, which gave us that wonderful clip when he got asked, hey, man, how much has the sticky stuff impacted you? And Garrett Cole responded,
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be
which,
honest.
by the way, that clip in real time was about 17 seconds longer. I cut out a lot of blank space in that clip.
All right. I have a nominee. I'm going to nominate the tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Oh, that's a good one. You know what? That's a great one. So
I'm not going to vote for my own nominee, obviously, but still, I mean, we know who I'm voting for.
So we have Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines, and Lonzo has added a second nomination. Acknowledge him, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. All right. So there you go. I'll tell you what we will do is we'll get to another story here because we do have other actual sports stories that we need to throw in there. But I will open up the voting and nomination process. If you would like to nominate someone else, I'm going to change it from most valuable cheater to most successful cheater. Is that fair? I think that's fair, right?
It's kind of the same thing, but
Yeah.
but it sounds more.
Sounds like we're respecting it less.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to do. From now until we come back to open up the next hour, I will accept new submissions for nominations. I will accept, and I think this one's too old. But we did just get a text for Tom Brady. So, Lonzo, I need you to stop texting the show. You're right there. You can just say it on the microphone. You don't have to text the show.
I did it mentally.
I'm going to
Everyone
say,
could see my hands.
I'm going to say Deflategate was probably far enough in the past. Frank just jumped on the stream and said the Chicago Black Sox. I'm also going to say baseball in the 1919 era is a little statute of limitations out.
The thing is, though, you never said in a calendar year. I mean, maybe you need to say in the last calendar year.
I think like every award ceremony, we're going to say dating back to last July. Dating back to last July, most successful cheater. And we're going to put on that. No, you know what? I don't even want to say successful because I would like to include people who cheated and did not get away with it so that we can include my guy, Garrett Cole.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
So I am going to say most egregious cheater. Right now, the nominations for most egregious cheater are Jim Harbaugh in the Michigan Wolverines, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief in WWE. So the nominations are open now. I'm going to say, I'm having a hard time coming up with anybody else to add. My goal is to add at least one nominee to every category today. I got a hard time coming up with another one here. So I will also say voting is open right now. I am going to say that each of our nominees have one vote so far. Actually, now Roman Reigns has 2 votes per the text line. You may text your answer to the show at 71307. Start your text with fan, or you may join our live stream and put your answer in there. Who is your vote for best cheater of the last year? 2 nominations so far, Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines and Roman Reigns. All right. We will also, throughout the show, get into some other sports stories and what other shenanigans and tomfoolery we decide to get into this year. Did want to get to this one. We talked a little basketball earlier. I'm going to talk a little basketball again today. Can I tell you why I genuinely love Olympic basketball? Why I love Team USA basketball? Because with the exception of, and I actually like this too, but with the exception of Anthony Edwards, Lonzo, I don't think there is another time that NBA players are so damn likable than during their Team USA runs. Honestly. Steph Curry got asked yesterday, what's it mean to be on this squad? And he said, honestly, I'm giddy. It makes me feel like a kid again. They asked Bam Adebayo, who, by the way, is going to be a reserve on this team because Joel Embiid's on it, right? Bam Adebayo got asked, what's your strategy in regards to being a Team USA member? And he said, this team has so much talent, it means everybody on it's got to find their niche, right? Like everybody on it has to find their role. And if anybody does not play to their role, we're not going to be successful. And I love that. When's the last time that you heard a not bona fide NBA superstar say that during the regular season or anything close to it, right? You hear role players talk about that all the time. Well, I just got to figure out where I fit in on this team and play to that role. Sure. But when's the last time you heard a superstar say, I got to figure out where I fit into this team? I got to figure out where I make a difference on this team. I got to figure out what my strengths are, my role on this team. I'm not saying it never happens, but it's rare enough that it's kind of hard to come up with an example on the fly. So I absolutely love when Team USA basketball shows up, because it is the one time that you can look at just about everybody on a roster of superstar NBA talent and go, we can win without you, right? Like, it won't be easy, but we can win without you. If Jason Tatum drops out, and I don't know why I'm picking him because he's been the consummate professional over the past year and a half, but if Jason Tatum was to drop off of Team USA, I can go find another power forward from the NBA that could jump on. Like, easy. I could go find that guy. I could call Kyrie Irving today and get him on this team. I could get Zion Williamson on this team today, and we'd be just fine.
Zion's doing an eating contest right now, right?
No, he's not. He's not fat anymore for today. We'll check in on him again tomorrow. But I absolutely, nomination for Urban Meyer, but it's not cheating in sports. I like that one. I love the Team USA basketball. I love the clips we're getting out of it. I love the mentality. And I will go so far as to say, I think it's my favorite basketball to watch. And I think it's my favorite basketball to watch because, number one, Team USA, we are everybody's gold medal match, right? We're everybody. So Serbia is going to throw everything they got at us in game number one. They might hold a little back for game two. Canada is going to take tonight's friendly like it is the gold medal match because they want to show they can get the U.S. I love it because this team is going to be challenged every game, no matter the talent level on the other bench, A, and B, because this is going to be the most team-centric basketball you will ever see any of these players play. When Say J-Tay gets back to the Beantown Celtics next year, Jason Tatum's got to be a star. He's got to be a guy that carries this team. When Kevin Durant gets back, when LeBron gets back, all of these guys have to go back to being stars because that's the way the NBA is built. You got to have your stars be stars and everybody else fill in. But on this team, is there anybody on this team that just like jumps off the page as this guy's got to get 50 or we can't win? No, there's not a guy on this team I couldn't pull off. LeBron, Kevin Durant, there's not a guy on this team I couldn't pull off and replace with somebody else and like not lose more than a half a step, right? That's why I love it. That's why we're dialed in on Team USA basketball. That's why I'm pumped about getting to Paris and watching this run, because I think for a while there was a mentality of, let's just go have some fun. Let's just go to wherever and have some fun. And I think that mentality has been squashed. I think Steve Kerr takes it seriously. I think having E. Spo on the sideline drawing up the plays for these boys is invaluable. If you are one of the people who relentlessly complain that the NBA is too star-driven nowadays, Team USA basketball is the basketball you've been waiting for. All right. As we go to the break, between now and the beginning of the next hour, get your votes in. We have had two more nominations. Urban Meyer and Shohei Ohtani's interpreter has been nominated.
That's a good one.
That's a pretty good one. So your nominee for the Zoe for Best Cheater, your nominees are Jim Harbaugh in the Michigan Wolverines, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, Urban Meyer, and Shohei Ohtani's interpreter. Those are the nominations. Get your votes in now. Text it to 71307. Text FAN and then your award winner, or come see us on the live stream and leave your votes there. We will announce the Zoe for Best Cheater after Zoe wins the Zoe for Best Sports Flash.
It's a given, man. The Atlanta Braves extended their winning streak to 4 with a 6-2 win over Arizona last night. Chris Sale picked up his 12th win of the year after going 5.1 innings with 5 hits and 2 earned runs. Allowed 2 runs allowed. Adam Duvall hit a 3-run shot in the 6th inning that broke the game open, while Eli White and Sean Murphy each added an RBI. The Braves had 11 hits on the night. Argentina has booked a spot in the Copa America final after a 2-0 win over Canada last night. Julian Alvarez opened up scoring in the 22nd minute, and Lionel Messi finally cracked the score sheet with his 51st minute goal. Tune in this afternoon from 3 to 7 p.m. for our brand new local show, Wire to Wire. Hey, I'm almost on vacation. Cole Bryson and Diesel get you up to date on the latest local and national sports news. Great guests, great debate, a lot of fun. Wire to Wire. So I'm blaming that on Rob because he was saying something and I couldn't hear what he was saying, and it just my brain was trying to understand what he said, and it caused me to be confused for a moment. And I'm almost on vacation.
Definitely tell my family and friends, if you are struggling with losing weight, this is definitely the way to go, just to help aid you in that process.
Call QC Kinetics now and start losing that stubborn weight.
My leg is too big now.
QC Kinetics, 833-QCK Slim. 833-QCK Slim. That's 833-QCK Slim. Bourbon and Bacon Fest, Friday, September 27th at Justin Mill, downtown Greenville. Simple bourbons and whiskeys from well-known distilleries. Or feasting on bacon-themed bites from top restaurants. Text BACON to 72341 or visit bourbonandbaconfest.com.
This is the story of the week. As head maintenance at a concert, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. It brings you supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support. His brain never misses a beat. Call Ranger.com or just stop by. Ranger, for the ones who get it done.
DQ presents Picture This. Picture the DQ freezer, home to all the Blizzard flavors of the past. Picture it opening.
You know, here's something fun. I have to get a root canal.
Those are joyful for many reasons.
I've
With,
never had one.
with modern technology, though, it shouldn't be nearly as bad as what it was when I had my last one, which was like probably before you were born.
In the early 90s, this was also about the time that Jim Harbaugh had a recurring guest role on a television show that I did watch religiously in the early 90s. Do you know what it was? Cheers. No.
What an apropos promo to play right there.
Yeah, like someone put that in there on purpose. I mean, you know, I don't know why anyone would do that. I needed 30 seconds and it just worked out, you know? I don't know if you knew this or not. But I'm award winning. Started to point that out many times. I mean, many. I mean, we might be on 3 minis now. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll be on 4 in August.
I'm really banking on it. Okay, I gotta tell you, I'm wildly disappointed because I was trying to come up with my winner here for the Zoe for Best Cheater. Going into the break, the nominations were Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, Urban Meyer, and Shohei Ohtani's interpreter. And we got a text leading up to the beginning of the walkout music there, because it's not an intro theme on this show. It's walkout music. We got a text that came right up to the walkout music for Hans Niemann. You know who Hans Niemann is? You will when I tell you here in a minute. Hans Niemann is the chess player who is not only admitted publicly to having cheated twice in his career, but is the chess player who cheated against Magnus Carlsen, the number 1 player in the world, Lonzo, by, how do you say gently? How do you say PG-13 style? Utilizing.
We talked about this before on the air, so and we I think we did it well, but I don't remember how.
He had a remotely operated
Game show buzzer.
vibrating recreational adult utensil inserted in his butt, I think is the best way I can put it. My dude had a backdoor sex toy that someone else could remotely vibrate to let him know what was coming.
It was his enema alert system.
Yeah, let's go with that. So I'm going to tell you, to the texter who sent that in, unfortunately, you submitted the nomination too late for Hans Niemann to win, but I am telling you right now, had you nominated Hans Niemann about 20 minutes ago, Lonzo, I think it's a runaway vote. I think that guy wins. I think it runs away with it. I really do.
I think it makes everyone squirm to a point that they wouldn't vote for that guy.
I absolutely think they would. But we do have to hand out a Zoe.
But
We do have to hand out a Zoe. After tallying the votes during the last break as we came back to the walkout music, the 2024 Zoe for Best Cheater, Lonzo goes to the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Sneaks in with a vote as the music was playing on the text line from Steve, who said Roman was only champ because of cheating, maintained his status as champ repeatedly because of cheating. Harbaugh only won 1 belt. Roman kept his for years. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, wins the Zoe for Best Cheater of the Year. Congratulations to Pensacola's own Roman Reigns for winning the Zoe for Best Cheater. That's pretty impressive. All right. It is 7:04 in the morning. You got about 55 minutes and some change before you got to get to the office, before you got to clock in and lock in, before you got to get to work. And when you do, I know how the game gets played. You're going to want to immediately take that first break. And you are going to want to talk sports. And if you want to talk sports, you got to know what's going on in the world of sports. And if you got to know what's going on in the world of sports, you need this.
Are you ready? Ready for the playbook of the peculiar, the almanac of the absurd, and the encyclopedia of the extraordinary? Well, you better be, because we're diving headfirst into the 3 top stories that will have your coworkers saying,
Feel me? For real. Do you feel him, sir?
their first bathroom break.
No.
Here we go. Welcome to the water cooler cheat sheet on the Fan Upstate.
It is the water cooler cheat sheet, the top 3 sports stories you need to know before you get to the office and start talking sports with your coworkers this morning. When you do, these will be the topics of conversation that you get to. Let us begin with item number 1. It is now 4 in a row for the Atlanta Braves after they knock off the Arizona Diamondbacks for the second time in a row on the road. 6-2 winners last night are the Bravos. Chris Sale picks up win number 12 on the season. He went just long enough to qualify for the win, plus 1 more. Threw 100 pitches on an extra day of rest. It took him 5.1 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 3, but K'd 9 through 5. Jesse Chavez came in, went 2.2 to clean up the 6th inning through the 7th and the 8th before AJ Minter came in and finished up the D-backs in the 9th inning. Chavez gave up 1 hit, no runs. Minter, no hit. The Diamondbacks in the 9th inning of this contest. At the dish, the Braves, one of the more successful nights that they've had in recent memory. 11 hits tallied by Atlanta last night, including a couple by Jared Kelenic, by Marcell Ozuna, and by Adam Duvall, who also had a 3-run dinger in the 6th inning that broke the game open for Atlanta. It was 5-0 at that point, as Arizona would get 2 back in the bottom of the 6th inning, but they would not find the dish again. Atlanta would get another one in the 8th inning when Eli White tripled to center and drove in Adam Duvall. That was the last run of the contest, and it was all the Braves needed. It was more than the Braves needed to get that win last night. That is the 4th Bravos victory in a row. It improves the record to 51-39. However, the other portion of item number 1 on the water cooler cheat sheet is the Philadelphia Phillies, because I thought, here's a wonderful opportunity. The Phillies are setting up to play a multi-game stretch against the LA Dodgers. It is in Los Angeles. I thought this is a great opportunity. Excuse me, it is at home. It is in Philly. I thought this is a wonderful opportunity. If the LA Dodgers can take a few away from Philly, maybe the Bravos hit the Midsummer Classic within 5 games, maybe 6 games. Instead, last night, the Phillies get back Kyle Schwarber. The Phillies get back Bryce Harper, and the Phillies beat the crap out of the Dodgers. 10-1, your final score. Zach Wheeler earns the W, his 10th of the season, despite the fact that he checked out of the game after just 5 innings and 76 pitches with lower back tightness. He surrendered just 3 hits and 1 earned run, K'd 7 through those 5 innings. The Phillies had to go bullpen game for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Dominguez, Soto, Kerkering, and Ruiz all came in and threw 1 inning apiece. The Dodgers on the night connected for just 7 hits overall. 2 of them came from Austin Barnes. Austin Barnes, who was rolled out there as a fill-in and a substitute. Barnes got a couple. Outside of that, no multi-hit game. Will Smith had 2 as well. I lied to you. Will Smith got 2 hits. Austin Barnes got 2 hits. Nobody else got more than 1. It was a rough night for the Philadelphia Phillies. 12 hits, or for the Dodgers, 12 hits for the Phillies. 3 of them came off the bat of Rafael Marchand, who was out at the catcher spot last night. He had 3 hits in 3 ABs. Rojas had 2 in 3. And Trey Turner went 3-for-4 before he was DH'd in his last AB by Whit Merrifield at a point where that game was over. That game was concluded when Merrifield checked in. The Phillies were just exceptional last night. The Phillies were exceptional last night. They did just about everything right. And I got to tell you, while the Braves had a good showing, taking the second out of a couple from the Arizona Diamondbacks, they will remain 7.5 back now of the Philadelphia Phillies. So we will keep an eye on that race in the NL East as we move ever closer to the Midsummer Classic next week. My Google Chrome just completely bleeped the bed on me there. So I'm getting back in it.
I was doing stuff and I looked up and I just see me. I mean, that's never a bad thing
Yeah,
for
for
me.
sure. You're welcome.
But
As T.O. once said, because he
love
stole
me
the
some
quote
me.
from
Yeah.
Lonzo,
Yeah.
he loves him some him. I mean, we all do.
I do
That's
love
why
me
we're in
some
this
me.
business.
So yeah, I mean,
You can't really do this business without loving you some you. It's kind of imperative, I think. Let's get to item number 2 and see if I can do it off the top of my head. I think I can. Let's find out. Kevin Durant has been a mainstay for Team USA over the last 3 Olympic Games. This will be his 4th consecutive, but Team USA is going to have to figure out a matchup. And I don't think this is a bad thing. I think prep for the team can be important as well. Kevin Durant out for tonight's Team USA competition against Canada. And that is a good Canadian basketball team. It is a Canadian basketball team that is expected to be a contender for a medal if there is a spot that Team USA is going to be up against it. It will be if they end up matched up with Team Canada in the knockout round of play of the Olympic tournament in Paris. So this is a big test. This is a big opportunity before the Americans take on their next. They have 4 friendlies remaining. Their next friendly is July 15th against Australia. Then they will also have a July 17th matchup against Serbia. Of course, Nikola Jokic on that squad, along with Bogdan Bogdanovic and others. Kevin Durant is Team USA's all-time leading scorer. And as much as we like to beat up on Kevin Durant cares about winning at the Olympics. Kevin Durant cares about carrying the stars and stripes into the Olympics every 4 years. Dude is the best when it comes to Team USA basketball, but they're going to have to figure it out without him. Dude is in a spot because my guy is with a calf strain. He is unavailable. He is expected to be available for the next friendly on limited minutes and then hopefully full participation on the 17th when they roll around. We will find out how all that plays out with KD coming up tonight when Team Canada takes on the United States men's national team. Let's get to item number 3 on the water cooler cheat sheet. I've bounced back and forth around with this one, but I do think it is a conversation that is going to be relatively interesting to have. It is not necessarily a news item, but I think it generates a lot of conversation. CBS has dropped their power rankings of head coaches in the SEC. Great one. Where does Shane Beamer rank of the 16 teams in the Southeastern Conference?
This is their ranking.
This is CBS's rankings of the SEC head coaches.
I'm going to go 12.
I don't have a ding, ding, ding sounder. So instead I'll say, oh, yeah. That is exactly where he is.
I like that better.
Yeah, I do too, I think.
Yeah.
I think. That is exactly correct.
And no,
oh, yeah.
And no, I did not look.
Well, you nailed it. Shane Beamer is ranked 12th. Here are the head coaching rankings in the Southeastern Conference according to the SEC, and we will talk about these coming up. Georgia, Kirby Smart, ranked number 1 overall. Any shock there? No, I didn't think so. LSU, ranked number 2. Brian Kelly is ranked number 2. CBS Sports says he is the 4th ranked head coach in all of college football. Steve Sarkisian at Texas, ranked number 3. Kalen DeBoer, ranked number 4. Lane Kiffin, number 5. They have Mark Stoops, ranked number 6 in Kentucky. They have him ranked 20th overall in college football. Eli Drinkfitz at Mizzou is number 7. Josh Heupel at Tennessee is 8. Mike Elko moved over from Duke to Texas A&M. They have it number 9. Hugh Freeze drops to number 10. Brent Venables, ranked number 11th at OK. They have Shane Beamer ranked number 12. Behind Beamer, Billy Napier at Florida, Sam Pittman at Arkansas, Clark Lay at Vandy, and Jeff Lebby, number 66 overall and last in the SEC at Mississippi State. Anybody jump off the page as a guy that you think is too high or too low? Great one. Shane Beamer too low at 12. Is I don't know, Eli Drinkfitz too high at Missouri at number 7?
I don't know. According to all the rankings, Missouri's going to be pretty good. I mean, that's what they're saying, right? So
yeah.
we'll see. No, I can't. I mean, no.
I think
other than one, you can shuffle a lot of things after that.
I'm going to start with Josh Heupel at 8 is ridiculous. Josh Heupel behind Eli Drinkfitz? No. Josh Heupel behind Mark Stoops? No. Like, Stoops is in a groove at Kentucky. I'm not going to argue Kentucky's the best it's ever been, but if I ask you right now to start a team, why in the hell is Josh Heupel, who, by the way, has never lost to Kentucky and is 2-1 against Mizzou with a 135-84 scoring advantage, how the hell is Josh Heupel behind those guys? Lane Kiffin is at 5 because of Lane's off-the-field coaching. Own the transfer portal this year. Ole Miss has never had more attention than they have right now, and that is valuable. No matter what anybody says, while winning is the most valuable, having a ton of attention placed on you is also exceptionally valuable. I'm fine with that. I don't have an issue with Kalen DeBoer at number 3. At number 4. Steve Sarkisian at number 3. Like, okay. All right, I guess. Like, it's Texas. You were in the Big 12. What you did in the Big 12 doesn't impress me. Let's see what Sark does in the SEC. You got any problem with Smart at 1 or Brian Kelly at 2?
I still don't know about Brian Kelly, but 1, obviously. I mean, who else would be there?
You know who does love Brian Kelly? His Fireboy. Fireboy. Like family and are my 2 favorite things to say on the show that I should probably never say again. Hey, you know what? While we're here, let's hand out another Zoe. When we come back, let's do a legitimate Zoe in the next one. We've handed out favorite American Olympic athlete. Simone Biles wins that one. Katie Ledecky won that one. And we handed out best cheater of the year. The tribal chief Roman Reigns won that one. When we come back, let's discuss and debate best coach. Let's go best coach. I think there's some honest conversation to be had here. Any sport, any level, best coach. We argue that, Zoe, when we come back. Get your nominations in now at 71307 or on the live stream of The Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
Creepy weather guy. Meteor is heading directly towards Earth.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders? Hey, Charlie James, there are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. I'm talking cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. They've helped so many people here and tens of thousands more around the country. If you're living with chronic pain from arthritis or injury, you need to know steroids and surgery and pain pills are no longer your only option. Learn how QC Kinetics can treat the pain.
Mike Tomlin gets a nomination for Miss April. All right, we'll throw Tomlin on there. Never had a losing season at the Berg. That's a good one. I think Andy Reid's got to be on that list. Yep.
Founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company.
I've got one that nobody else is going to put on the list and should be the winner. Hands down should be the winner.
Greg Burkhalter.
No. That's the nomination for a guy who should be most fired. All right, I guess I need to make it clear when we come back. This is for this year. This is our annual awards because I just got a nomination for Bobby Cox and Tony Dungy. And I appreciate the submission, Matthew. Good call. Not trying to run you. Glad you're here. I am not Jim Rome. I am glad when people submit things to the show. But this is an annual awards show that we are doing here. So it's best coach of the last year.
Sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Introducing Chumba Casino, the thrilling online social casino that's free to play. Head on over to ChumbaCasino.com now to join in on the fun.
Chumba.
Jericho is now with the Odyssey family.
Yep, we're reaching out.
More accessible.
Absolutely, it does. Shut up, Diesel.
That was me, you, of course.
What did he say no to? What a tease, Cole.
New Life next break.
New Life next break. Yeah, Steven, same. I would if Messi was playing, I would have gone. The Rob Brown Show continues. It is the Fan Upstate. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Rob and the Great Lonzo with you. So, Texter says, I know Rob really does say tournament, and he does say Celtics, but does he really say Arkansas too? Here's what I will say about that. Tournament is how that word is correctly pronounced. Celtics is what the word is. Arkansas, I just say to be a smartass because it bothers people from Arkansas. That's the only reason I say that. There's no semantics reason for saying that one.
I've in my head always thought Arkansas, by the way, even before you. And isn't that where that came from? When the states were established?
I thought that.
Because I believe it was.
That was originally how it was said, and then it metamorphosized into Arkansas. I heard some, and I don't know enough. Was it originally pronounced Arkansas? We all have to know right now, right? One was always introduced as a senator from Arkansas, and the other as a senator from Arkansas. In 1881, the state's General Assembly passed Resolution 1-4-105, declaring that the state's name should be spelled Arkansas, but pronounced Arkansas. So it is actually state legislation that the correct pronunciation is Arkansas. That is state legislation from the people in Arkansas. I'm still going to, that's why I say it Arkansas, because I really want to go to Arkansas and call it Arkansas and see if they like put me in jail for it. It'd be the best sentence of my life. And by sentence, I mean like legal sentence of my life, as well as thing I've ever said.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to go to Arkansas and get beat up for saying the name wrong.
I have had Woo Pig Sue Ears call my show in the past, not here in the old station, because I don't really ever, I don't know how many Arkansas fans are here, but I was in the Florida Panhandle. Yeah, I had Arkansas fans who got very mad at me for calling it Arkansas, and now I know why.
I've only met one Arkansas fan, and I don't know. Yeah, he probably would be pretty angry.
So there you go. All
And
right.
I'm pretty sure he's a mob boss, so you don't want that guy angry.
Let us, and by the way, the word is Celtics. That's the word, okay? Like Boston people can say Celtics, and that's fine, but the word is Celtic.
For sure.
That's the word.
When you talk about Celtic culture,
Correct.
Celtic history, you don't
Now,
say Celtic.
The fun thing is, in OG Irish, it actually was Celtic, but then over the years, due to some findings about the way that different words were pronounced in Old Gaelic, and Odie may know this better than me, we have to run this by him, the word eventually did become,
I'm texting him.
yeah,
now.
hit him up, did eventually become Celtic. So it is Celtic. Anyway, next Zoe on the table. Let's do a for real one. Let's hand out a for real Zoe here. We've done two so far. Actually, we have handed out a best one. I think favorite American athlete is legitimate. The Zoe for America's favorite American Olympic athlete went to, per the tie-break vote of the great one, Lonzo, did go to American swimmer Cody. Cody. I got my wrestling because we got another one next. Katie Ledecky. And the Zoe for best cheater went to the tribal chief Roman Reigns. Now, I do need to make clear before we get to our best coach Zoe here. This is an annual award, all right? So I said best coach, and we got a nomination from Matthew, very much appreciated, for Tony Dungy. We got a nomination on the text line for Bobby Cox. Bobby's been out the game for a minute. So we are looking for nominations for an annual award last year, dating back to last July, for best coach. We got a couple of nominations from the voting public for Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin. Here are the names that I have put on the list so far. I put Andy Reid down because I knew Lonzo was going to nominate Andy Reid.
You are correct.
I think you have to. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he should win. Jim Harbaugh did lead the Michigan Wolverines to a natty this year. I am going to submit my nomination. All right. Odie, who is actually Irish, says it is indeed Celtic. So I'm right. Like, I knew that already. But glad to have some confirmation from an actual Celtic. So here is my nomination. Before I explain why this coach should be the winner, quick Rob Brown Show home edition quiz time. Pop quiz. Pencils up. Lonzo, listening audience on the stream, listening audience out there in public. Who is Patty Gasso? Anybody got a guess?
Patty with a Y or Patty with an I?
Patty with a Y. Who is Patty Gasso?
A basketball coach.
That is incorrect. Patty Gasso is the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners softball team, the four-time consecutive NCAA women's softball national champions. And oh, by the way, if that's not enough, she's also won 8 Women's College World Series dating back to the year 2000. That is my nomination. That is my vote. Anybody who wins 4 consecutive natties at D1 Power 4 big-time school-level competition is insta-coach. However, Z Fink pops into the stream chat and adds a nomination that I think is going to catch some steam before we go into the break. Dan freaking Hurley. Well, he said Dan freaking Hurley. I'm good either way. Dan Hurley, the new very rich man per his extension with the UConn Huskies, two-time national champ, coming back looking for the three-peat, spurns the LA Lakers to remain in Connecticut. Dan Hurley added to the list.
Maybe this is a living, breathing thing. Since this is the first one, maybe you should separate pro and college.
I want
Okay.
overall coach.
You're right, because there is no separation because
Correct.
of NIL, and now college players are
Yeah,
actually.
it's just all pro sports now.
Yeah.
Everything's ruined. Life sucks. What's the point of going on? I can't wait until we get to August and football kicks off and I get all those phone calls from people going, Rob Brown, nobody wants you to talk about college football because it all stinks and it's all pro sports and nobody likes it anymore. I can't wait, honestly. It's gonna be an interesting series of radio shows because none of you like college football anymore. That's gonna be fun. Anyway, voting is now open. Who is, and by the way, doesn't have to be American coach. You can go international if you want on this one. I don't know who's on that list right now. Should we add? I'm back and forth on this one. Lonzo, should we add Joe Mazzulla to the nomination? His Boston Celtics didn't just win the NBA title. They dominated on the NBA, on the route to the NBA Finals, up to and including a gentleman's sweep of the finals over the Dallas Mavericks. You know what? I am adding. Nobody said you can't have more than one nomination. So here's who's nominated right now for best coach for the Zoe of 2024.
Way too many.
Kansas City head coach Andy Reid, Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, Michigan Wolverines head coach Jim Harbaugh, Oklahoma softball head coach Patty Gasso after her fourth consecutive Women's College World Series
I
championship.
heard what you did there. I heard how you tried to influence the vote by emphasizing your selection.
I mean, okay. Two-time consecutive winning Super Bowl coach Andy Reid, looking for the three-peat.
Been to multiple Super Bowls.
Correct, but two-time consecutive looking for a three-peat, which I think is the highlight here because we're only talking about this year. I think stacking consecutives adds to this year. So you got two consecutive.
So we're not gonna
Going to
say-
the Super
we're
Bowl
not gonna
6
say
years ago doesn't influence this year.
3 times Super. Okay, all right.
I think you stack on what is consecutive going into this year. Andy Reid winning back-to-backers stacks.
He also loves cheeseburgers
And he does love cheeseburgers.
and nuggies.
Mike Tomlin, who has been with the Pittsburgh Steelers for 77 years and never had a losing season.
He did almost trip a guy though.
Also, can you remind, he did almost trip a guy. He also did it with, I believe, 16 different starting quarterbacks for the Steelers last year, one of whom was Kenny Pickett, and he did not have a losing season. Made the playoffs,
And
by the way.
his wee little hands, allegedly.
Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh won the national championship. Oklahoma softball coach Patty Gasso, who has won the Women's College World Series 4 consecutive seasons. UConn head basketball coach Dan Hurley, who has now won back-to-back natties in men's basketball, looking for his third. And NBA World Championship coach Joe Mazzulla. Those are our nominations for the Zoe for Best Coach. So here's what we're going to do. During the break, text me your winner at 71307 or send your winner into the stream by joining us at facebook.com/thefanupstate, twitter.com/thefanupstate, the Fan Upstate on YouTube, the Rob Brown Show on YouTube, or the Rob Brown Show on Twitch. Either one of those two ways, text or stream chat your winner.
So text Andy Reid to all this.
Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Jim Harbaugh, Patty Gasso, Dan Hurley, or Joe Mazzulla. Who is this year's Coach of the Year? Who takes home the Zoe? We will answer that question when we come back. Send your votes now. We'll pick a winner on the flip side. It's the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
New life.
All right, guys, quick live. Put your votes for Coach of the Year in the chat. We are back after this. My controversial pants take. Here's my controversial pants take. The two best kind of pants are kilts and tights. They are the two least restrictive. They are the two most comfortable.
They're also very opposite of each other.
They are.
One
But
is
those
very
are the two.
freeing and one is very hugging.
One is ultimate freeing and one is ultimate constraining. And for those two reasons, depending on the activity in question, everything is easier to do in either A, a kilt, or B, in tights. Everything. I am absolutely team kilt. All right, one vote for Patty Gasso, one vote for Mike Tomlin, another vote for Mike Tomlin, a vote for Dawn Staley. How did Dawn not make the list?
Wow. There you
No
go.
nominations for Dawn Staley. We blew it. No, we didn't blow it. They blew it. Y'all blew it. She does have 3 votes, though, despite not getting the on-air nomination.
Did you
Actually, her and Patty Gasso are tied right now at 3 votes apiece. Best coach, hands down, Urban Meyer. So we have a smart ass on the stream. That's awesome. So a realization sent to me on the text line during that last break. I'll tell you what I'm going to do because we got a little bit longer segment here. I'm going to leave the voting for this, Zoe, open through the remainder of this segment. Even though that is against the rules established at the beginning of the show, I am going to leave the voting open for best coach Zoe through the end of this segment. So the text line remains open at 71307. Send your vote to 71307, fan, then the name of the coach. And you can put your rationalization on there if you'd like to. Or you can join us on our live stream at facebook.com/thefanupstate, twitter.com/thefanupstate, the Fan Upstate on YouTube, the Rob Brown Show on YouTube, or the Rob Brown Show on Twitch. Here are the nominees so far. Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Jim Harbaugh, Patty Gasso, Dan Hurley, Joe Mazzulla, and added during the break. And I don't know, I'm going to say this is on y'all, not me and Lonzo, because we both gave our nominations. Dawn Staley nominated during the break. And because of that, and I'm going to give a special exemption to Dawn Staley here, I'm going to leave the voting for this Zoe Award open for this segment. So you've got Andy Reid, back-to-back Super Bowl champ, Mike Tomlin, who despite having to go through quarterback after quarterback last year, had another winning season, never had a losing season in Pittsburgh. Jim Harbaugh won the Natty for college football. Patty Gasso, a 4 consecutive time national champion in women's softball. Dan Hurley, back-to-back men's basketball championships. Joe Mazzulla, who won the NBA title with the Boston Celtics this year. And Dawn Staley, who won the national championship, despite the fact that this was supposed to be a year that they didn't do that. It was supposed to be a rebuilding year for the Gamecocks. She goes and she wins the Natty anyway. And we just have one more nomination to the text line. Lonzo, nomination for Coach of the Year, Coach Rob Brown, actual knower of ball. I will allow it. I will allow it. For sure, I'll allow that one.
Wow. How is it magnanimous? Is that the word? I mean, I think it might be.
I would
way
like
to go, you.
Who's to say I don't want to win a Zoe this year? Right? This might be my only chance. It might be my only chance. I'm going to say straight up, I'm not even going to make Sports Talk Show Host of the Year on this day because I know our listeners. I wouldn't win it on my own show. I know my listeners. Cole would win it. C Money would win it. I guarantee it. All right. So text your vote to 71307. Jacob texts the show. He said 4-year champs. That trumps it all. 2 votes for Mike Tomlin. 3 votes for Patty Gasso. 1 vote for Urban Meyer. A vote for Greg looks like he wants to Popovich. That's my favorite new nickname in sports. That's my favorite new nickname in sports.
No, we're against violence here and on the Rob Brown Show.
I mean, listen, sometimes you just get mad and want a Popovich. That's a man's name. That's a man's name. I'm on for it. 2 votes for Jim Harbaugh. All right. So we'll leave it right now. Right now, It is a two-way tie.
Too many nominations,
Sorry.
dude.
Right
you've
now-
you've got to limit nominees to like 3.
I ain't limiting anything. The Zoes have loosely established rules. Loosely established rules for the Zoes.
So you're gonna name an award after me, but I have no say. And okay, fine.
I mean, I'm making the rules up on the fly. That's kind of how it works.
I never would have guessed that.
I know. So right now, the leaders are Dawn Staley, Mike Tomlin, and Patty Gasso, all who have 3 votes for the Zoe for Coach of the Year. So I'm going to leave it open for the next 9 minutes. And at the end of this segment, we will hand out the Zoe for Best
I just
Coach.
want to say, and I know you guys probably don't notice this, but this whole thing right here, very disrespectful. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, if you
very-
don't vote Andy Reid.
Very disrespectful. You guys are going to get what you want.
Because voting for a 4-time consecutive time D1 national champion in a major sport over a 2-time Super Bowl champ is disrespectful. Just rude.
3-time Super Bowl champ. And yeah, it's disrespectful.
Fair enough. So we're getting set for college football. We have until the first Power 5 game, August 24th is the first game. That is a early week 0 matchup in Dublin, Ireland, where the Celtics are from, by the way, between Georgia Tech and Florida State.
I did ask Odie, who says it's pronounced Celtic.
It is pronounced Celtic.
And he's from Ireland.
Yep.
Is it easier to hunt in a kilt? And here was his response. Well, when there's a westerly breeze coming up from the south, you definitely know about it.
Poetic.
Yes.
Poetic. Hot pants take. Kilts and tights are the 2 best kinds of pants. Kilts and tights.
I'm
For
gonna
exactly opposite reasons on both ends.
I'm gonna go with no pants, but that's
Which is kind of a kilt, right? Like if you want to go pantsless in public, kilt is the choice.
well, technically you and I both are pantsless right now. So I mean,
What are you doing over there, pal?
wearing shorts, they're not pants. I guess you could call them short pants. You wore the okay, those things.
I wore jeans. Yes, those are jeans.
You wore the mom jeans.
Those are. What do you mean, mom jeans? They're black.
Mom
they're-
jeans has a certain color to them.
They're No, I'm trying to figure out how they're mom jeans. I don't think you know what mom jeans are.
Are they pulled up over your navel?
No,
Okay, well
that's Papa jeans.
that's old people. I just was curious. I'll never do that. By the
What do
way,
you think mom jeans are?
they have a really long from.
They're high waisted.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they're high waisted and they're traditionally unflattering intentionally. These are just black jeans, man. Lonzo just said I wear mom jeans.
You've worn shorts all week, so I made an assumption. Apologize for doing that because I don't really pay that much of attention. So
I got great legs. I don't know what you want. I got great legs. I got legs. I know how to use them.
Okay, all right. I don't want to know how, but I mean
You
those.
should.
Those. I'm glad you're able to fit into those.
I just got these
Jeans.
jeans back into the rotation.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah, that's why they're back.
Not a struggle to button anymore. All right, good for you.
Nope.
Good for you.
I just moved in like 4 belt loops on them too.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Good
solid.
for you.
By the way, as we get set
You might need
to
to buy a new belt. Wrapping your belt around
I'm getting very
twice
close.
is not. it's
I'm
not
getting
a good
close to
idea.
having to punch a keyhole through the belt, you know? That's what my dad used to do. You don't need a new belt. Just give me a knife.
That's always fun on one side of the belt, but not on the other side.
That's
'cause-
also true.
Yeah.
T Experience votes in. He's adding another vote for Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin, your leader right now, in the vote for Zoe for Best Coach of the Year.
So disrespectful. I like Mike Tomlin.
If
by
Mike
the way.
Tomlin takes down Andy Reid, I will be shocked. I will be shocked if Mike Tomlin takes down Andy Reid. All right. The Big 12. Sorry. That's my bad. The Denny's 12 is out there right now. Throw in.
I don't think it's going to be Denny's though. It's going to be a big name.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, Denny's is
I'm
big.
calling the shot. It's Geico.
See, I
It's
don't-
Geico.
I don't-
Why? Geico is the primary sponsor of everything else.
My money's on QT. The QT12, it just has a good sound to it. You know,
I'm going to go ahead and say Denny's has the same shot QT does. Although QT is the uni sponsor for the Kansas City Royals.
there you go. QT has more of a. I mean, it's got more of a ring to it. It does.
The
Geico 12 just sounds like a NASCAR race, and the QT 12 sounds like either a killer ski slope or or a football conference.
Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12, said yesterday at Big 12 Media Days opening in Las Vegas, Nevada, quote, "We have solidified ourselves as one of the top 3 conferences in America." Hey, ACC, as Shaq said, tell me how my... Oh, man.
There was some noise going on over there, so I had to have you down, but it's back up now. I apologize.
Hey, ACC, tell me how my taste.
It still worked, even though you had to do it twice.
Yeah, that's true. It did. It felt good. It felt good. Despite the Big 12 not winning a national championship in college football since 2006, Brett Yormark says the Big 12 is college football's deepest conference. He said, quote, "We solidified ourselves as one of the top 3 conferences in America. There has never been a better time than right now to be a part of the Big 12. We are truly a national conference in 10 states, 4 time zones, and all eyes are now on the Big 12 for all the right reasons. I think it is safe to say we are more relevant now than ever before." I mean, okay. Are you though? Like your best shot at a national championship was Texas, and they're gone at this point.
What's he supposed to say? I mean,
I don't disagree.
You got to hype your conference
for sure, and I get it.
That's all the media days are. Is you hyping your team and hyping your conference.
For sure, I agree, and I mean that's fair. Arizona State, Baylor, BYU, Cincinnati, Colorado, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, UCF, Utah, and West Virginia. I'm going to give you a hot take. UCF might be a playoff team this year. Not a joke. Not like a ha-ha, Rob. Yeah, they definitely won the 2017 national championship. Lulz. I'm saying to you.
So UCF is going to make it in the playoffs, but Clemson won't.
I'm saying UCF might win the Big 12.
Okay.
I'm saying UCF might win the Big 12. Kansas State is going to have some say in that.
I slipped that in there and he just let it go.
Well, because again, I got a feeling if Clemson goes to the playoff,
be a good night.
Shane just said, "Did you say UCF?" Yes, I did. Established Bucky's 12 member UCF. UCF is going to be Gene Chizik's down there, and while Gene Chizik didn't work out at Auburn, obviously. Gene Chizik has done 2 things. Number 1, UCF worked the crap out of the portal this year. UCF worked the hell out of the portal this year. UCF's going to be a good team this year. UCF might win the Big 12. I'm not calling the shot. I'm not saying it's for sure. I'm saying to me they're the best value bet, and I think that team's going to be good. And I wondered if I was losing my mind by buying in on UCF. But I brought that up last week on You Better You Bet, and I brought that up on BetMGM Tonight last week when I was doing my regular spots or my fill-in hosting on You Better You Bet on the BetQL Network and my weekly guest spot on BetMGM Tonight, which, by the way, tonight, 7:20 p.m., make sure you're there. I said that last week. Ryan Horvat's in on UCF. PJ Glasser is in on UCF. We had a Big 12 member join in, Big 12 media member join in, who said that he's in on UCF. Like that, UCF's going to be a good team this year. They might win this conference. Are they the 3rd best? Are they better than the ACC? Let's just throw that out there. Are they better than the ACC? Right now, Zoe, is the Big 12, is the Bucky's 12 deeper than the Atlantic Coast Conference? Is that fair?
Yes, that's fair.
I kind of want to push back, but the more I look at it, the more I don't think I can say yes. Like, I think Cincinnati's going to be okay. I think everybody's lost their freaking minds about Colorado for no good reason. Houston's interesting. Kansas State, I think both of those teams are going to be pretty good. I think UCF is a conference winner. I think West Virginia takes a step forward. Are they deeper than the ACC? Clemson, Florida State, Miami at the top. UNC's win total this year is what? Back to 6.5? I knee-jerk reaction to this, and the more I think about it, the more I think the Big 12 might be deeper than the ACC. It might be. Brett Yormark might not just be hyping his boys. He might actually be correct in this. We'll talk more about it later in the show. Hayden Ask Mario joining us at 9 o'clock. He confirmed that to me yesterday. We'll see if he actually shows up or not, because he's got a habit of not showing up for things that he says he's going to be there for.
Dude, let that go. When he's on the air, has he ever no-showed for?
Yeah,
a
last
minor
week.
thing?
Last week. Literally his last showing. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure he has a legitimate reason. May have had a bad hair day. You don't want to come on when you're having a bad hair day.
All right. So it is time to hand out a winner for the Zoe for best coach. And I don't know how to handle this because we are making up the rules as we go. We have, Lonzo, now a 3-way tie. Excuse me, a 4-way tie. So we may have to just come back again and run it with these 4 coaches. The 4-way tie includes Andy Reid of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Patty Gasso of the Oklahoma Sooner softball team, and Don Staley of the Lady Gamecocks. Those are your 4. I did not get into that mix. I don't know why I did not make it with Andy Reid and Don Staley.
Did you vote?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Just because you give a nominee doesn't mean you're voting.
I voted
that
for
nominee.
Patty Gasso.
Okay,
That's my vote.
I gave a nominee, but I didn't vote.
I voted for Patty Gasso. Your nomination is your vote. I did that in the last 2 for myself, so I'm doing it here as well.
Okay. Well, you didn't do that in the first
I'm
one. There was
assuming
a
your
tie.
vote's Andy Reid.
Well,
You didn't nominate anybody in the first one.
yeah. Well, yeah. I dominated
didn't.
in the second one.
Correct.
You're right.
So, as of right now, and this is it, during this break, vote your Zoe for best coach. Here are your choices: Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Patty Gasso, Don Staley. 71307. Start your text with FAN, FAN. Send me FAN, name of your coach of the year. Drop it in the stream chat. And then when we come back, we'll get set up for the next Zoe. Between here and there, here's Zoe.
Vote early, vote often. Dead people and illegals welcome. The Atlanta Braves extended their winning streak to 4 with the 6-2 win over Arizona last night. He was in the room. That's the reason why I did. Chris Sale picked up his 12th win of the year after going 5.1 with 5 hits and 2 earned runs. Allowed Adam Duvall hit a 3-run shot in the 6th inning that broke the game open with while Eli White and Sean Murphy each added an RBI. The Braves had 11 hits on the night. Team USA all-time leading scorer Kevin Durant will miss tonight's friendly against Canada with a strained calf. According to the team, Durant said he suffered the injury while working out just over a week before the team's camp began. Got politics on my mind. Tune in this afternoon from 3 to 7 p.m. for our brand new local show, Wire to Wire. Cole Bryson and Diesel get you up to date on the latest local and national sports news. Great guests, great debate, and a whole lot of fun. It's all Wire to Wire. I don't know why I'm not talking. And I was thinking about the beach. That's all. Just thinking about it. Thinking about staring out at the ocean. Going to sleep to the sound of the tide.
Unless there's just a surge of votes coming in at the deadline, we have our coach of the year.
Yay.
You know what, JS? Absolutely, that's our next category. I love it. I love it. And I will let you have both of those nominees.
Wow, you're generous. Look at you.
I'm overcompensating for my bad mood.
I will tell you, I forgot all about that. That's
I
how,
didn't.
That's how good of a job you're
It
doing.
is simmering.
Okay. Well, don't go back there. Stay here.
Stay here.
QC in the first break.
Lonzo's my therapist today. We entered the break with a four-way tie for the Zoe for Coach of the Year between Andy Reid, two-time consecutive, three-time overall Super Bowl champion, coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Patty Gasso, 4 consecutive time champion at the Women's College World Series, 8-time overall, and Dawn Staley of the USC Gamecocks women's basketball program. We kept the voting open through the break. And I will tell you that not only do we have a winner, but we have a runaway winner. The 2024 Zoe Award for Coach of the Year goes to Dawn Staley, USC Gamecocks. Now, I am going to acknowledge there is no doubt that Dawn Staley was playing with the home field advantage here. We know that.
No doubt at all.
Absolutely playing with a home field, or I should say, I guess in this court, home court advantage here for Dawn Staley. But the people hath spoken. The 2024 Zoe for Coach of the Year goes to Dawn Staley. She picked up during that break 7 new votes, ran away with the award during that last break. So now we move on to our next Zoe Award.
I was going to ask for proof of citizenship or that you're alive, but no, I'm not going to do that.
As I say, with every time that gets brought up, prove it and I'll do something.
Right. Okay. So she deserved to win.
I love Dawn. Patty Gasso deserved to live. Deserve to live? God.
She absolutely does.
Jeez.
She absolutely does.
That was very dramatic.
But according to demographics and things,
She deserved to live.
It makes more sense that Dawn Staley would win because we live in South Carolina.
Correct.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
She won
but,
because of the home court advantage.
if we lived at wherever that lady that you're talking about lives,
Oklahoma, she runs away with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if you live in probably like 35 other states, she runs away with it.
No, 35 other states, Andy Reid or Tomlin wins probably.
I don't know. I don't know. All right. Let's go with this. So one of the things that I wanted to do with the Zoes was I wanted to open it up to you, the people.
By the way, I also want to point out, I was never asked about, my name being used for such a thing.
I'll tell you what, for every dollar that we make off the Zoes, I will give you 50 cents of it. How's that?
Wow, I get 50%.
I will
All right.
50% the
All right.
royalties from whatever we make off the Zoes with
I'll
you.
have my people contact your people, make it legit. And there
You
we
just
go.
have them contact me straight away. No middleman necessary. JS
I'll have them
Coat.
call your brother. We're good.
Yeah, okay. JS Coat joined the stream. And because again, the Zoes for the people, by the people. Okay. JS Coat joined the stream during the break. And he has submitted our next Zoe. And I got to tell you, it might be my favorite Zoe of all. He is nominated for a Zoe.
I'm hurt, by the way.
Sorry, bud. I'll have to tell you, this is the best Zoe of the day. He has submitted for our next Zoe the 2024 Zoe for the People Award. This award, as I am making it up on the fly,
Oh, that's we the people.
That's we the people. It's very different.
Yeah.
as I make up the rules to this award ceremony on the fly, as I do most things about this show, the award for the people, Zoe, is going to go to the athlete who was most for the people, did something for the people, entertained for the people. The For the People award is for the athlete, to the athlete, or coach, or sports personality that did the most to become a man of the people, or woman of the people, or person of the people. So, JS Code also submitted a pair of nominees. And because I love this award so much, I'm going to accept both and then add a third. And I will say for this award, Zoe, I am going to submit one that I think is very fairly on the list, but is also not going to get my vote for it. Here are the three current.
Yeah, wait.
I'm changing the rules.
So if you think I'm not, no, that's
I'm changing the rules.
That's
Would you have voted for anybody but Andy Reid?
Yeah, I was going to vote
Okay,
for Don Staley.
No, okay.
I absolutely was
Well,
going
it
to vote for Don
ended up
Staley.
didn't matter.
Yeah, I was going to vote for Don.
Okay,
Staley.
fair enough. That's disrespectful.
On purpose.
You can't
Yeah.
disrespect your own team.
Sure you can.
It's like jinxing yourself.
No, it's not jinxing because we know what happens when they're disrespected.
But you can't do the disrespecting. Then Andy Reid could just look in a mirror and be like, I'm fat. Oh, disrespect. It's not how it works.
No, he's acknowledged that he's a heavy boy.
He is a thick boy.
Yeah, it's not. No, stop changing rules, dude.
I'm changing the rules for the Zoes. Here are the two nominees that were submitted by JS Coat for the People Zoe of 2024. He submits first Boban Marjanovic. Boban catches the nomination of For the People. Why? Because in an away game, Boban went to the free throw line. And that evening, there was a promotion that if a player missed a pair of consecutive free throws in the contest, everyone with a ticket to that game would win free chicken nuggies the next day. Boban steps to the stripe, misses a free throw. So what does Boban do? He bricks his second free throw intentionally so that he could then win chicken nuggies for the whole crowd. And after he did it, you know it was intentional because he turned and he saluted the other team's crowd. You're welcome. You're welcome for dunking the free throws so that you could win free chicken nuggets. It was Chick-fil-A sandwiches, which is still very good.
Which is bigger than a nugget.
Yeah.
Also, he reaches things off the top shelf for people, and he loves goldfish crackers.
He does love some goldfish. So do I, by the way. Big fan of goldfish. That, by the way, this moment, that is where this call came from. That call was made after Boban missed free throw number 2 intentionally to win chicken sandwiches for everybody up in the building as an away player. He's a Houston Rocket. He won it for the LA Clippers fans and then saluted them on the way back to the defensive side of the floor. I got to tell you, it's going to be hard to be that. But J.S. Coate sent in his second nomination, another nomination I'm going to accept because of how much I have talked about it. Lonzo, the second nomination for the 2024 For the People Zoe is Bryson DeChambeau. I have said how many times on this show, the redemption arc of Bryson DeChambeau might be the best thing golf's had going for it since red shirt championship Tiger Woods. Bryson DeChambeau wins the U.S. Open, and then what does Bryson DeChambeau do? Not only does he stay around the 18th signing autographs and taking pictures for everybody up in there that wanted one. Then, if you missed it, as the dude from the Golf Channel goes back onto the course, because you remember Bryson DeChambeau had to scramble and on 18 was in the sand, had to hit the shot of a lifetime out of the sand to give himself a chance, and he did it. On the Golf Channel, after Bryson DeChambeau won that, they sent one of their dudes out there to show where Bryson's ball was and to try to hit the shot that Bryson hit. Dude goes out there and he absolutely chunks it, embarrasses himself on national television. Well, who should literally just roll up? Bryson DeChambeau, carrying the U.S. Open trophy. So you know what Bryson does? Bryson rolls into the pit with this guy, takes the guy's microphone from him, talks to him for a minute, and then Bryson DeChambeau walks him through the shot. He's like, here's what I want you to do. Do this with your feet, open up your stance, hit it this way, aim there, go this percentage of a swing, yada, yada, yada. And what does this cat do on national TV, Lonzo? Hits Bryson's shot, sticks it in the dark, sticks it to like 6 feet of the cup. Exactly. Bryson walked my guy through hitting the shot of his lifetime on national TV. But wait, that's not all. Then, about 3 days later, Bryson DeChambeau turns up in downtown Nashville, Tennessee, with the trophy. With the trophy. He shows up with the trophy, and he just walks up and down downtown Broad Street. What is it, Broadway? Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee, letting everyone who wants to take a picture with the trophy, take a picture with him, get a selfie, signs the autographs. The redemption arc of Bryson DeChambeau is the best thing in golf right now. Hands down. Hands down. So, Boban and Bryson DeChambeau are our current 2 nominees of the For the People Award. We do have a third now, a great one. On the text line, our third nominee of the For the People Award in this year's 2024 Zoes, Paul Triple H Levesque. Triple H's work with the WWE. Texter says what he has done with storylines for the WWE. In fact, let me go. I'm going to read the rest of this text all the way through. It just says what he has done for the storylines for WWE. You know what, Zoe? I accept that. As a wrestling guy, and we talked about this yesterday, we'll be doing Fight Club just over an hour from right now. What Triple H has done for the WWE is the best thing that has happened since Stone Cold Steve Austin. WWE is on fire right now. It's exceptional right now. It is not only exceptional right now, but I think it has forced AEW to really reconsider the way that they've been operating, and it's getting better now. I am fine adding Triple H to our nomination list. So, we have our 3 current nominees for the 2024 Zoe For the People Award. I will take a final call for nominees. Lonzo, is there anyone else that you'd like to add to the list right now?
No, and even if I did, I wouldn't, because of the last category having 25 nominees.
There are currently 3. I'm racking my brain. I'd like to add another. I'd like to open it up a little bit here.
3's a magic number. Let's go with that.
All right. So our 3 nominees for 2024 For the People Award, as submitted by JS Coat on our Facebook stream, are Boban Marjanovic for intentionally bricking a free throw in order to win Chicken Sammy's for the away LA Clippers, Bryson DeChambeau for the redemption arc of Biceps DeChambeau, or Paul Triple H Levesque for his work as CBO of WWE and bringing them back from the dead. I mean, the VKM era. Voting is officially open. The voting is now open for the 2024 Zoe's For the People Award. Is it Boban, Bryson, or Paul? Which of those 3 guys is going to take home this award? Your voting is welcome through this advertising break. When we come back on the other side of the break, we will hand out your For the People Award, and we will actually talk about some sports for just a minute. We'll also set up the next Zoe Award. Votes welcome right now. 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N. Send the text FAN 71307, FAN followed by your winner, or join us on our live stream at facebook.com/thefanupstate, twitter.com/thefanupstate, The Fan Upstate on YouTube, The Rob Brown Show on YouTube, or The Rob Brown Show on Twitch, and give us your winner of the 2024 Zoe For the People Award. Is it Boban, Bryson, or Paul? We'll have the award and we'll hand it out when we come back on The Rob Brown Show in The Fan Upstate.
QC.
All right, guys, quick live, and we're coming back. Leave your votes for the For a People Award in the stream chat. I don't know if this is an upset or not. We're handing out the Zoe Award that we are calling the For the People Award. This is an award for an athlete, coach, or sports person of any type who has done the most for the people. Our three nominees going into the break were Boban Marjanovic for intentionally bricking a free throw to win chicken nuggets for the other team's crowd. Sorry, chicken sandwich for the other team's crowd. Inspiring, by the way, one of my favorite clips on the board. He's a man of the people. Bryson DeChambeau for the redemption arc of Bryson DeChambeau, and Paul Triple H Levesque for his work in fixing the WWE. And the winner of the 2024 Zoe's For the People Award is Lonzo. Boban Marjanovic is going to take home the For the People Award. We did have a late push for Triple H, but we had 5 immediate votes for Boban and 4 votes for Paul during that break. We had 4 votes for Bryson DeChambeau as well. But the 2024 For the People Award is going to go to Boban Marjanovic for bricking a free throw and winning a stadium full of the other team's fans a free chicken sandwich by bricking a free throw. Spectacular work from Boban. That's the type of guy that you want on your squad. A guy that is for the people. All right, let's get a sports
Didn't
conversation.
he just get traded though? Wasn't that him that got traded?
I don't think Boban's been traded yet, has he?
I thought he was. I could be wrong.
You can't just lump every let's see. No, he got traded to Houston back in 2022. I think he's still with Houston. I don't think he got traded. In fact, I know he didn't.
Okay, must have been another big man.
Yeah.
But I seem to recall a big man getting traded last week.
No, he's still with the Rockets, my understanding. Yugoslavian, for the way, since you asked. But I asked him, he didn't ask. I found this yesterday. And I found it interesting because, frankly, I agree with it, but not necessarily for the reasons that the author of this piece intended. The Columbus Dispatch printed an article by Rob Aller. The title of this editorial is EA Sports Surprisingly Restores Faith in What Makes College Football Special, end quote. Rob Aller starts the piece out by pointing out that he is not a connoisseur of video games. He says, in fact, I haven't really been a video game guy since Mario Kart on the original NES, which is fair, which is fine. He said somewhere along the lines, I began eye-rolling sports video games, not so much because it ate up time. I spent hours playing Stratomatic baseball, and I went through a video game phase, but because it was sports without the sweat. I know, loosen up, dude. It's just an entertainment outlet. But he goes on and says, to that end, I have done a 180 flip on EA Sports, or maybe a 90-degree turn since I was never rock bottom down on the company to begin with. But what happened? Since 2013, when EA stopped making its college football game, largely due to legal action against the company, college football has corporatized itself without help from EA. Turns out EA was less of a guilty party in the monetizing and professionalizing of college sports than were college presidents, athletic directors, conference commissioners, lawyers, TV networks, and the athletes themselves. So what is it that EA did with this game? The reason I agree with this is not because I'm upset about what's happened in college football or anything like that. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's because EA Sports is emphasizing all the things about college football that still exist. All the things about college football that didn't go anywhere. This is what I have been talking about when some of y'all have been talking. Oh, it's not the same game anymore. The kids are making money. It's not the same game. It's all about the transfer portal. Kids can leave schools. It's not the same. It's not my college football anymore. And I have been making the argument that, yes, it is. College football, as it has always been, is whatever you make of it. It's whatever you decide that it is. Here's what Rob Aller writes. He talks about the EA Sports dynamic. He says, quote, "Instead, consider EA a conduit by which my faith has been restored, that the finer points of what makes college football special are receiving attention and consideration. In other words, EA is simply the messenger to deliver the good news that college football is more than million-dollar coaching salaries, geographically challenged conference realignment, and payment of players under the guise of volunteerism. To wit,
That says a lot right there. To wit. Term used in the 1930s.
Dude, I don't even say to wit.
I know.
I might now. To wit. EA has invested time and money into getting the game day experience just right for all 134 schools represented. EA declined an interview request due to bandwidth as we ramp up to launch in less than 2 weeks, but the company's website details what can be expected. Under the heading of iconic atmospheres, EA outlines how the game will include team runouts, rivalry rituals, synchronized crowd chants, fight songs, mascots, and stadium simulations. Some of this was available in 2013, but not to this extent. As senior game designer Christian Brandt described it online, picture this. You are playing as Penn State, getting ready to take on your opponent. This all starts with your team running out the tunnel to Zombie Nation, blasting, and the whole stadium chanting, "We are Penn State. We are Penn State." Brandt graduated from PSU, but those who have previewed the game say Ohio State fans can look forward to TBD BITL performing Script Ohio. No word on who dots the I. EA Sports is savvy enough to know that including atmosphere and pageantry will help sell its products, so don't buy into all the marketing malarkey that they're selling. Still, when stowing my cynicism for a minute.
Just pause a second. He also said malarkey. Okay. I just want to point that out.
I honestly don't have an issue with malarkey.
I looked at the guy. I think he's my age or younger, but he's somewhere in between me and you, I think. And to wit and malarkey.
You don't say malarkey?
I maybe sarcastically.
I use malarkey like once a week.
If I'm talking about shenanigans or fracases
tomfoolery
or brouhahas or something like that, but it's usually to try and be funny. Malarkey is not really a part of anyone's normal vocabulary. It's not part of yours either.
My band, malarkey's absolutely part of it.
You don't use malarkey enough for it to be a part of your vocabulary.
I mean, if you use it as part of your, but I'm good with it. Point here is malarkey's a great word. I don't have an issue. To wit is kind of Delta Bravo-y.
By the way, to wit was first recorded in 1320.
Yeah. To wit is what you say when you need everyone in the room to know that you say things like to wit.
All right, this guy's getting some notoriety. People are including us talking about
for
this.
Sure.
But why?
So here's my take on this article and why it jumped off the page at me. Because there's this big epiphany also on my vocabulary. There's this big epiphany by this guy. He's like, wait a minute. EA included all these things, the rituals and the rivalry and the fight songs and the chants and the cheerleaders and the band.
Always in the game.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But my point here is I'm translating this to real life. When NIL a couple of years ago got brought out into the limelight, I was like, guys, college football is not changing.
Limelight was a good song, man.
When the transfer portal became a thing, and some of you guys and gals were tweeting and texting and calling the show and going, Rob Brown college football is ruined.
No, God, please, no.
I said, no, it's not. No, it's not. Relax. Everything is fine. When some of you guys called and were
Hot as fish grease, bro.
because you were mad that college football's just not the same. When some of y'all texted and said,
Sucks.
Rob, I went, no, it's fine. When y'all looked at Charlie Baker and said,
You're such an a-hole.
I went, no, nothing. All the things that made college football great are still there. They're still there. Clemson's still running down the hill. The cockpit is still bouncing to Sandstorm. Osceola's still planting the spear. Mr. Two Bits is still doing the lamest chant in sports at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. They're still dotting the I. They're still slapping the Go Blue sign. They're still tapping the play like a champion today sign. The chants are still ringing through the stadiums. College football is still great. And it like in a weird way, it kind of saddens me. But in a good way, I'm glad that despite his absolute, ridiculous way of saying it, to wit, I'm glad Mr. Aller has recognized, and I'm very glad that this article is making the rounds right now. Because all the people who have been whining and complaining that, oh, it's not college football anymore, Rob. Yes, it is. We love college football for the pageantry and the pride and the tradition and the competition. And guess what? Yes, NIL's changed. Yes, transfer portal has changed. Yes, it feels like a more corporate environment around college football. But all of those things, all of the things that all of us collectively love about college football, they're all still there. Relax. Fall's almost here. College football's almost here. And all those things you love, they're coming back in 44 days, my dudes. Back after this to hand out another Zoe. Then we got Hate and Ask Mario Fight Club with the X's going on, and we call it a day on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
You like?
All right, guys, one more read and we're back. Stay right there for me and submit your idea for next Zoe in the chat right now. see since it has begun to slow up just a little bit and discuss who were the winners, who were the losers. We'll also talk about a couple of other things with Hating Ass Mario. We'll find out where it goes. James, who checks in, and I would like you to take, Alonzo, if you don't mind, a look at James's profile pic there. It's just excellent work. Just excellent work.
Nice.
Just excellent work.
I believe that's a really good picture.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Let's go with great one. Let's go with another Zoe here. Let's go with this one. This one's interesting. Best play of the year. Best play. Any sport, any level. I will give you the 4 that are nominated for the actual ESPYs, and then I'll see if there are any more that you would like to add to the list. The 4 that are nominated for the ESPY. Ali Lemos with the perfect corner to tie the national championship game in NCAA footy. Justin Jefferson with the, quote, catch of the century in the NFL. Michael Block with the hole-in-one, or Trinity Thomas with a perfect 10, tying the all-time NCAA record in gymnastics.
All right, I have a nomination on this one.
All right.
McCole Hardman catch in overtime to win the Super Bowl.
That's not bad. That's not
And
bad.
if I recall, I don't think he had caught a pass all day. And remember, he was on the Ravens, and he had just come back to the Chiefs.
Mecole Hardman going to get added to the list. And I will even go so far as to say, I'm not going to count the SB nominations as our nominations. We are going to come up with our own nominations during this segment. And then we will go through. And I will go so far as to say that I am willing to allow any play up until today. I will even include yesterday. All right. Yesterday comes in before the awards are handed out. So I will let them go. So our first nomination comes from Shane, who has decided to nominate Lamine Yamal, who is the 16-year-old 16-year-old Spanish player who became the youngest player ever to score at a European championship, netted a stunner of a goal for España as they notched a 2-1 victory over France in the Euro Championship semifinals yesterday. It was a pivotal goal that kept Spain alive in the face of quite a bit of French pressure in this contest. I will absolutely put that on the nomination list because it was absolutely a gutsy goal from a 16-year-old player. So I'll absolutely throw Lamine Yamal's goal on there for best play because I do think if he does not score in that moment, I think France wins that game. But the entire game got turned on its head with that goal. Lonzo has nominated Mecole Hardman's catch in overtime of the Super Bowl last year as the play of the year. Nominations open for you right now. What is in the last year the play of the year? It can be any sport. It can be any level. What is your play of the year nominee? We will keep an eye on these and try to come up with a winner sometime between now and the time that Hating Ass Mario joins us. I am looking for your play of the year nominations. Are there any others that jump at that? Not that you're going to nominate, but are there any more that jump out at you? Are there any more? We had the Justin Jefferson catch, which was a spectacular catch, no doubt about it. Any baseball, any from the World Series last year? Like I'm not going to lie. I'm outside of the ones that are nominated. Shockingly, I'm kind of having a hard time coming up. Were there any in the college football playoffs that really broke games open? I'm trying to remember.
I'm trying to pretend like last year didn't exist in college football. So, but that's just me.
It's fair. I'm trying to think back to the college football semifinals. Was there any one individual play in the, because I don't think there was in the finals, right? I don't think there was a play in Michigan demoing Washington in the playoffs. I don't think there were any in the semis, were there? Were there any in the Texas game? I don't think so. Were there? I'm struggling to think if there were. All right, so I'll throw out. James says T. Higgins catch from last year. I'm trying to remember the T. Higgins catch from last year, and I will also admit that a lot of this. I know he had one. Was it the Vikings game? He had like a corner end zone. Is that the one you're talking about? The corner catch in the end zone where he like caught it in front. All right, I just pulled it up. Caught it and had to come back in front of a Vikings DB. Caught it, great one, and then like with both feet in the green, kind of like spun backwards, leaned over this way to stretch it over the pile. Like, it's a pretty remarkable catch. I'll put T. Higgins on the list. I'm good with that. What's our play of the year? Nominations open 71307. Start your text with FAN, 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 and we will read them on the air.
Look at the Clemson people. Yeah. T. Higgins. Yeah.
Hey man, you weren't hating when Dawn won on home court advantage?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was just pointing out that
it's definitely
that they're going to jump on that because
T's definitely okay. How about Chris Lewis, president of the Greenville Triumph, texting in? He said, in that same vein, nominating the Jude Bellingham goal for England in Euro last weekend, bicycle kick to send the match to added time, and 3 minutes later, Harry Kane scores the GWG. I actually really like that goal. I'm fine. So we got 2 soccer goals, and I will agree. I think to some degree, great one. This one is probably going to be one that is going to be either one due to geographical bias with T. Higgins or recency bias, because I think the Jude Bellingham goal is going to probably take the lead there.
especially if all 5 people who saw it vote.
So let's see. Oh, this is a good one. All right. How are you pronouncing this name? Ethottie. Ethottie or Ethottie? I kind of want to go Ethottie here.
I'm not helping you on this one.
You got to help me on this one.
No.
You got to help me on this one. Anyway, either way.
How about Ethote?
Ethote. Don't try to spice it up, dirt. Dierte. He texted in, or she texted in, they text in and say, I am an LSU fan, but that play at the end of the Bama-Auburn game, the Iron Bowl last second touchdown is a great one. That's a great one. Also, they say it's the second one. Ethottie it is. Ethottie text in. You know what? I don't have an issue with that. Jalen Milroe with the Gravedigger touchdown to walk off the Iron Bowl, which sent Alabama into the playoff. Granted, didn't do anything with it, and Florida State should have been there, but they did win that game. My former boss, Jason Autry, was the official in that game. Now I remember it. Because Jalen Milroe on the play before it on 3rd and goal.
You can't name drop an official.
I absolutely just did. Head official in that game.
No, you can't do that.
I can, and here's why. Because there was a game the week before. There was another game he reffed, and he sucked. And I texted him. I'm like, dude, you sucked this weekend. He's like, yeah, I know. We got a couple wrong. Anyway, Jalen Milroe, 4th and goal. Ball was spotted at the 31-yard line, I think. I think the 31-yard line, and ended up, you know what? I just found a clip of that game. Can we? I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna roll with it because the audio from it was incredible. That's too early. Here we go.
Space to cover for Milrow. Still looking. Firing. Near corner. It's caught! Touchdown, Alabama! Isaiah Bond! On a 4th and a mile! 31 yards. Touchdown tied.
Yeah, it was. 31 yards on 4th and goal. Jalen Milrow to Isaiah Bond sent Alabama to the playoff. If that touchdown isn't converted, there's
The stream, at least a couple people in the stream seem to believe that he pushed off.
ooh,
Yes.
little controversy.
Mhm.
Little controversy that I don't disagree with, by the way. Don't disagree with, by the way. All right, text your vote. What is the play of the year?
There is never any pass interference that's not called in sports. It's never, ever happened.
You know,
I'm going to let the real Rob today out before I leave on vacation. So other people have to pay for it.
You're not wrong. You're just an.
I've been sitting over here in a bad mood.
Oh, I
And
know.
You know,
I know.
I said because I'm a good host. I'm a good employee. I said I'm going to put this to the back.
You're award winning. You are.
A
Yeah.
good performer, and that's what we are. We're performers. Okay, a good performer is able to take whatever's happening in their personal life and put it to the side in order to come out and give the best performance.
By the way, the
that they
marriage
can
is still on, has nothing to do with that before
Nope.
people start texting.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope, everything's fine in the home life. Just something totally unrelated. Having myself.
He's really upset
day.
that I'm going on vacation. He's going to have to spend a week without me. That would make anyone be upset.
Not anymore. I was, but not anymore.
This is completely BS. This is shame.
Hating ass Mario. Because I was already mad enough. Now I got to bring Mario up in here as well.
And then we're going to have to deal with hair envy.
We got to deal with, not hair envy.
Yeah, it's hair envy. That's okay.
Now I got to deal with him. I got to deal with Lonzo, who's just decided let's kick the legs out of the last 3 hours for no reason
No,
as we
I-
head
I
into the
mean-
fourth.
We were-
get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
And nothing with nothing like a little spice here at the end of the program. That's all.
are we doing?
Let's take a break. Lonzo Sports Flash.
I really don't give a.
Me. All right, you win. You win. Me either, but I have to read this. The Atlanta Braves extended their winning streak to 4 with a 6-2 win over Arizona last night, which makes Rob really happy. Chris Sale picked up his 12th win of the year after going 5.1 innings with 5 hits and 2 earned runs allowed. Adam Duvall hit a 3-run shot in the 6th inning that broke the game open, while Eli White and Sean Murphy each added an RBI. The Braves had 11 hits on the night, and that's the first time I read that right all day. Team USA all-time leading scorer Kevin Durant will miss tonight's friendly against Canada. I don't even know what's that mean? With a strained calf, according to the team. Durant said he suffered the injury while working out just over a week before the team's camp began. Speaking of a lot of fun, tune in this afternoon from 3 to 7 p.m. for a brand new local show, Wire to Wire. Cole Bryson and Diesel get you up to date on the latest local and national sports news. Great guests, great debate, and a whole lot of fun. I said it twice, so it must be true, and it's all Wire to Wire. Scooch. Scooching. Slow down and say, huh? By the way, I mentioned it, guys. We did. We ended up mentioning it. I believe it was the famous philosopher Sergeant Holka who said, "Lighten up, Francis."
also Deadpool. Francis.
2 weeks away from that too.
Somewhere around here did an early release. I've got a couple of buddies who have seen it.
No way.
Yep.
No way. They're making it up. They couldn't 3 weeks before it happened.
Mm-hmm. Movies do early releases. I just didn't know we had one or I would have gone.
Well, we're going to go see Creed and then 2 days later go see Deadpool. I will mention to you when we're going and some other people when we're going to see if everybody wants to go.
Absolutely. I already told Courtney if she wants to go, I'll go with her. If not, I'm doing movie night with the boys.
And I already told my wife you can't go. Well, I mean, it's and if Chris goes, I'm sitting at least 3 people away from him. So
He loud.
when he laughs, yeah, and you can't, and it hurts. And because he laughs and wants you to know he's laughing and he turns his head towards you while he's laughing. Do you know anyone other than him who does that? I mean, there's got to be more people out there who do that, who laugh. They want you to acknowledge their laughter, so they turn their volume towards your ears. What's worse, the loud laugher or the person who asks questions in the movie? Always at the worst spot.
I know who the worst person is.
I'm gonna put him on. Way to go. That's kind of mean.
That was kind of mean.
Yeah, well, he's been kind of mean all day, but we've been trying to.
He's not been mean all
fix
day.
it.
He has been.
I ruined it by what I said at the end of the hour.
He has been doing an excellent job.
What'd you say at the end of the hour?
I just mentioned that pass interference is never called. Is never. I cracked on him about New Orleans, because he's still sore over something that happened like 25 years ago. Mario so mad he just left. He's like,
good.
He's like, I can't deal with a guy who still gets upset about something that happened 25 years ago.
The only way.
How long ago was that, by the way?
The only way that he could upset me more than ghosting me like a cheap Tinder date is by coming on the stream and then leaving it.
Well, he just left. So, we could see his plain background now.
Let's welcome Hating Ass Mario to the show. So,
dude, really? Put it on me. Do the thing to me.
Put it on that he just stood up and left.
I literally said, I'll be right back. There's someone knocking on my door. They're trying to fix the air conditioner or something. And I was like, hey, can you come back in a little bit? I'm about to be on air.
NBA analyst.
Look. He's putting off getting his air fixed to be on the show, and you can't be nice to him.
NBA analyst.
Yep.
Executive producer of BetMGM Tonight, which airs on this station and Odyssey stations nationwide from 7 to 11 p.m. every weekday night. And questionable friend, Hating Ass Mario, joins us now on the Rob Brown Show. You're welcome for working with you the last 2 nights, bud.
It's been a pleasure working with you the past 2 nights. I think we've had a lot of fun.
I know.
Discovered a lot of things. Yeah.
We have had a lot of
fun. Until tonight.
I don't know. Am I back tonight or are your boys back tonight?
Boys back, but you still have your weekly spot, right?
I do still have a
which
weekly
you,
spot.
by the way, talked about earlier in the show. So I knew you were back tonight. It's just, I didn't know
if they needed me again.
You might have to remind them.
What everybody needs to know is that last weekend Mario was in Destin. We were supposed to meet up. I did not.
2 weekends ago.
Whenever. All right. It's all a blur.
Just trying to help.
2 weekends ago, Mario was in Destin, 30 minutes away from me, tried to meet the guy. And then not only did I not, then he ghosted me on his Wednesday spot in the show the next week. Then I didn't hear from him until the next Monday. And I'm pretty sure it's only because he needed a fill-in host
real
and
quick,
he was in a spot.
When Shenanigans is playing along with Jefferson Airplane, you can't get anywhere near the place. He probably tried and he couldn't get there.
Oh, no, it was a Saturday night. It was just us. And he was going to be with the band.
I would like to give a quick counter. Lonzo, you were there. I am 99% sure I literally told Rob that I will not be available the next week. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be on vacation. Did I not say that? I did say that.
I don't recall, but
Thank you.
I am old. And by the way, I'm going on vacation in about an hour or so. So my memory's a little fuzzy.
Okay. I would just like to point out I definitely did. I definitely did said, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm going to be on vacation. I will not have my phone. Like
I'm not
be-
taking his side. If I remembered, I'd absolutely be right there with you, but I don't. So
Mario Heron joining us here on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Up. Say, all right, let's not spend time. You have already been found guilty of war crimes against my heart by Her Excellency Trista Crick. We did a whole segment on the trial of Mario.
War crimes against your
That's the
heart.
name of my next album.
Really? Really? That's a good album name.
That's the
It
name of
really
my next
is.
album for
Is
sure.
it, is it a
Great
collection
album.
of a collection of sad love songs?
Yeah, it
All
is.
right, yeah.
It is
Taylor
War Crimes
Swift.
Against My Heart. It's a good. I am proud of that one. All right, let's talk. Let's talk a couple of minutes of NBA free agency. Hate and ask Mario. If I asked you to give me the team that won free agency, who is it?
I would say it's the New York Knicks, but it's in a lot of different ways. Obviously, they succeeded in getting Bridges and OG, and they're every guard's worst nightmare. They have every wing defender in the world to throw at you. It's Tom Thibodeau's dream to have so many wing defenders that he can kind of play in full 40 minutes or now deep, and they're built to beat the Boston Celtics. But besides that, I think they really put a lot of pressure on other teams to make moves that they would have made, but they overpaid for, right? Like I look at the Sixers situation with Paul George. As soon as that move was made by the Knicks, the Sixers had no other choice but to do everything in their power to get Paul George. Because if they didn't, they'd be lost in the shuffle. They would not even come close to winning the East. They wouldn't even be up there at the big dogs. It would be the Celtics and Knicks in a very, very big gap. I think legitimately that would happen with the Sixers. They could get then jumped by the Pacers. Let's say Pacers take another step after their big run they had this past year. Let's say Magic, very young team. They did their first playoff spot. Let's say they take a big jump. Ben Carroll becomes a top 10 player in the league. They would have been just stuck in, I think, the zone that the Bucks are entering and the Heat are entering. Well, Heat are the zone that this zone is right now. So I think the Knicks win for who they picked up and forcing the Sixers to really get Paul George, but also overpaying him. And look, the Sixers, it was a good move to get Paul George, but at the same time, that window is a 2-year window. And then that's it. Where Knicks window, it's a lot more than 2 years.
So I agree with that. And I actually like that last reason that you put the Knicks up above the 76ers. What I will say is we went into this offseason asking the question, can anyone in the East get Boston next year? I don't think the Knicks are there yet. And we do have, obviously, the still big question out there, which is, can Tom Thibodeau figure out how to chill the hell out and not run his players into the ground before the playoffs? If there's a team in the East that can get Boston now, it is Philly. It is because, to me, Paul George takes the pressure off of Joel Embiid. He opens up the floor. You can't just play hack a Joel every time he gets the ball. Now, you've got to stretch your defense on that side, or else Paul George is going to cook you from the wing. I actually really like the fit of Paul George. The problem is, I think the 76ers had to give away a lot of depth in order to make the room for Paul George. And the problem with Boston is never that they're going to beat you with their 1 through 5. The problem's been they can also beat you with your 5 through 10. I don't know if anybody's got the depth to meet Boston. Philly's going to need like Embiid to have a 35-point night and George to have a 27-point night every given night to beat Boston. So has anybody done in the East enough to run with Beantown?
I mean, you bring up the Sixers, and the guy we haven't really talked about yet is the addition, I think, of Caleb Martin, who I think in a playoff series against Boston is going to be like that underlying superhero of he was this great defender off the bench. Maybe he gave you 15 or 17 off the bench in the series, and that's the real key in them winning it or them losing in 6 to the Celtics. I think they obviously did a sacrifice there, but that little sub addition of Martin really helps a lot. They also have Nick Nurse. I am the #1 Nick Nurse fan. I mean, I run his fan club. We meet every Wednesday. if you want to join. Lonzo, you're invited. Rob, patent pending for you. They're really big on that one.
I feel like you just learned the words patent pending. You don't know what they mean. You just want to say them a bunch.
It's pretty fun. I said it on the Bolt Crew podcast that you can find anywhere you get your podcast.
You said it
if you're a Thunder
6
fan.
times last night and not in the same way twice.
6 times is very over exaggerated. It was 2. I counted.
Okay.
It's called listen back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But no, look. Also,
So he was on the flow. He's killing it, and then you have to interrupt because you're in a bad mood. That's just messed up. I mean, you bring a guest on, and he's doing an awesome job, and just because he throws something,
He's doing
what
an
is-
okay
what is
job.
wrong with you?
It's okay. You're hurt, and I get hurt people. But I'll say this about the Boston Celtics too. They got very, very lucky this past year, injury-wise, right? They got a little lucky on the way. Obviously, with the teams they face of guys getting hurt. They also had a healthy KP, not really towards the end, but what if that happens a little bit earlier? Because that's probably will happen. Drew Holiday is going to be another year older. What's to say that he's not going to get hurt, or what's to say that he gets dominated like Jimmy Butler did 2 years ago in the playoffs? Tatum Brown are, very good duo, but are we really sure that Tatum's going to be the best player in every series they're going to face? I'd say probably not. Is he going to be the best player in a Sixers versus Celtics series? Celtics Bucks? Probably not. Celtics Knicks? Maybe. But again, probably not. So I see the Celtics run as a one and done. I don't really see this as a continuing thing. And I think we're going to see a different representative from the East come 2025.
Genuine question, like not trying to be a smartass here. How is Boston one and done? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are both exceptional. Yeah, I know you're going to lose Al Horford because he's 112. You mentioned Porzingis, and I'm good with questioning the injury. Any injury that is called a rare injury is something to be worried about. I'm fine with all that, but what do you have for Drew Holiday, who's on the Olympic team slowing down? I got nothing for that right now. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think this team has got a lot of depth on it. It's certainly got more depth than Philly does. I'd say New York is probably the only team that can kind of match it. I really like the future for the Orlando Magic, but the future is not 2024. It's 2025, I think. What is it? Is it just age and injury that has you thinking Boston's one and done?
Well, you mentioned the Drew Holiday Team USA thing, and that's fantastic, and he should be on there. I look at that also going, that's more miles on an older guy, right? That's a lot more minutes played in a time that's usually resting, times training and recovering your body. And he's, over there playing the US. Take that how you want it. I think too, it's just the East is so talented. And like I mentioned earlier, and this happens every year, right? This is not something that just happened to the Celtics this year. It happens to every championship team. They had a lot of luck go their way. I'm not saying they would not have steamrolled the Pacers. I'm not saying, they wouldn't have beaten the Heat or anything like that, but they had luck. They had stuff go their way in order to make it there. And let's say the Bucks come back, Dame, it's been really well reported that Dame, last summer didn't really work out that hard going into the season. He wasn't 100% the way he usually is. There's a full year under Doc. You can give Doc all the crap he wants. That is still a coach that has a lot of experience and a coach that has an NBA title. We get a pretty motivated Giannis. That's kind of scary. But he comes on. He could knock out the Celtics. I mentioned the Magic earlier. The Magic, just matchup-wise, are a really hard team. It's just very, very difficult, and they're extremely young, and I get that. But they could push you to a very, very hard series. And what if the Celtics lose one of the Jalen's? Okay, so Jaylen Brown's going to kind of lead you through the Magic. That could be, again, a very, very hard series. We saw what the Pacers could do. Was that a one and done? I don't know. We shall see. What if Donovan Mitchell does a classic request to trade, and where does he go? Does he go somewhere in the East? I just think there's too many variables, and the league's too infiltrated with talents, and on the East side, and especially the West side, that I just don't think we're going to see a repeat of a conference title or an NBA title for a long time to come. Steph Curry said this in an interview this past week, that he thinks the Warriors were last dynasty. I completely agree. Just the league is too talented. It's too spread out. Everyone's going to get their push or their time for a title. And if you don't take advantage of that one time, I really don't know, Rob, when you're going to get it again. We all thought the Nuggets were going to get it again. Like everyone was like the Nuggets easily will get it. They didn't. They didn't get it. And if we were so sure on them, how are we going to be so sure going forward?
We are talking to Mario Herron, a.k.a. Hating Ass Mario from the BetQL Network. All right, I'm going to make it about me here for just a minute.
Please do.
Anytime that you've got to dump a couple of role players to pick up a star, I'm good with that in the NBA. It's a star-driven league. That's not an argument. Role players are massively important. It's easier to find role players than it is to find superstars. Is DeJounte Murray headed to New Orleans in return for Dyson Daniels? Is he in superstar category? Is he a guy I can pair up with Zion, whether or not Ingram stays, and have those two guys play off of each other and make each other better?
Okay. I actually love the move made by the Pelicans. I think that Murray could be the perfect fit for Zion. But you did ask a good question. Is he like the all-star that's really going to take the team to a whole different level? Can he take the team from a middle-of-the-tier purgatory team to, hey, watch out Wolves, watch out Thunder? In a dream world, I think it does. But I mentioned how just the league's too freaking talented and too infiltrated with talent. I don't see that move going, okay, they are now scary to the Mavs. Because the Mavs added, right? Then the Mavs added Klay Thompson. And it's like, okay, well, they just got better. And they're a scary thought to the Thunder. Well, the Thunder just added arguably the best wing defender in the NBA, Alex Caruso, who has a title. Very, very, very veteran leadership, and love them in the Bulls. They love them everywhere. Then they had Isaiah Hartenstein to help out Chet when Chet gets bodied down low because he's going to get bodied because he has no muscle. And you're like, all right, well, the Thunder got better. The Wolves have the biggest dog in the NBA, and Anthony Edwards. All right, that's really, really hard to kind of top him and top that team. And they have a lot of good defenders too. And then you look at the Nuggets, like, well, the Nuggets have the best player in the world. They did lose KCP, which I think is really, really going to hurt them. They picked up, what's his name? Dario, but he's fighting people in Germany right now, or like France or whatever. So like, let's pipe down, buddy. Save the fighting for something else. I look at all that and I go, all right, it almost makes them like the king of the puppies, of like the puppy kennel. But if you still put them in the kennel with the big dogs, they still go down.
You were fighting through that metaphor. You were fighting for your life in the middle of that. You realized you walked down a path that you didn't know where it was going.
Hey, I commend him on finishing though. Once you start and you're like, oh no, I don't know where. You just went with it. That's what you got to do.
Just dive in. Yeah, cannonball in, baby. Big splash.
Does Klay really make the Mavs better? Like championship better? Like now they can compete with Boston better?
Yeah, because I think the role is going to be really well for him. I think the role is going to be a lot better. I think he's really going to benefit from new scenery. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rise in 3-point percentage. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rise in his like catch and shooting and maybe even his defense. And I just think there's going to be less press on it, if that makes sense. Because with the Warriors, it was like every little bad game he had, it was like, time to break up the dynasty. Klay's problem. Like that was a constant theme in it. I think there's going to be a little bit less pressure on him. I think that's really, really going to help that situation. It's just also, is Luka going to be healthy too? Because I think he just had a lot of miles on him this past season. Then he's going to do the Olympics, and then he's going to do the whole 82-game season. I highly doubt that, man. I mean, that guy loves his beer, which, can't blame him. I do too. But he's going to be like 80% going into the season.
How big of a deal? Sincerely, I don't think the Olympics are all that big of a factor, right? You're talking about 4 or 5 friendlies leading up to it. You're talking about 3 group play games, and then 4 games if you go to the finals or the consolation finals. You're talking about like 7 games, and I know it's over a 4.5 week period for sure. But this is a point in time where these guys aren't Summer League players, right? They're not out in the California Classic playing Summer League ball. I don't think the Olympics are that big of a deal.
I don't, but also think about like every time I get the games thing, but think about the practices on top of that then. So there's a training camp before, there's obviously practices between the games, then the travel. And that's the stuff that I think that adds up. It's like, all right, well, where'd you practice? Because you grow A relationship with the players, kind of know where everyone is on the floor. You got to get through that. And, what if you got a little twisted, banged up ankle and you got to go straight into camp? And then after that, you got to go straight into these games. And then what if you do want to make, and these guys too, like we saw how emotional Giannis was when Greece qualified. Like these guys really do care about representing their country and like doing everything they can to make sure that they're represented strong and that there is kind of like a little bit of a run made. And also when they play Team USA, they kind of want to like send a message too. So that's where I go, maybe there's a little more harder on the body than normal. Because I think there's motivation all towards around. Like even the guys in USA, like there's a reason why LeBron, Curry, Durant are all on this team. Is because they don't want the USA to be embarrassed again.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I will say, we talked about this earlier in the show. I love Olympic basketball and I like Olympic basketball. It is the thing I look forward to most. I'm an Olympic guy. We'll be in here breaking down swimming and diving like I've been doing it my whole life. Zoe and I will be the world's biggest floor gymnastics critics for about 2 weeks. Big fan, but I look forward to basketball. And I was quoting, who was it? Tatum, Curry, and Embiid earlier, or excuse me, Adebayo earlier. Bam was like, it's interesting because it's the most talented team you'll ever be on, and everybody's got to kind of find a niche. And these are all guys that are expected to be the guy on their respective NBA teams. But in this team, you're suspected to be a cog. You got Seth Curry, who said being on this team makes me feel like a kid again. Like I'm playing with all my heroes. I'm a kid again. And then Jason Tatum's out there talking about how, you've kind of got to accept that this isn't the basketball life that you've lived when you're a member of an NBA team. You're just kind of a dude again. The fact that these players know that going in and they accept that going to represent the U.S., with the exception of Anthony Edwards, who's like, yeah, no, I'm still a big dog. I got to eat. And again, I think you got to have some of that on your team too. You got to have a little bit of that, dude. Like right now, if we're in a dogfight against Serbia in game 1, Anthony Edwards is getting the ball because I know he wants it, right? But because of that mix of chemistry, I freaking love Olympic basketball.
It's one of my favorite things like in the world to watch every single time. And by the way, I'm a huge fan that Anthony Edwards said that, because when you look at, I think like the next generation, if you will, of players in Team USA, like Anthony Edwards is going to be that captain, is going to be like kind of like that dog. Like he's the next face of the NBA, if you will, like American wise. So I have no issue with him saying, yeah, when I'm the guy that gets the ball with a few seconds left. Yeah, Embiid, cry all you want. It's me, buddy. Like, I love that. I love that he's going with that mentality. And it's just the funnest. I think it's just great, too, that we've gone back where guys aren't skipping it. Like, we even have Kawhi Leonard. He probably won't play. But the fact that even Kawhi's there, I think is incredible. It's the best. Go USA. Canada, you're going to take 2 L's back-to-back today, buddy. So up yours, and syrup sucks. How about that?
Okay, syrup's fine, but like,
No,
I'm
it's
down
not.
for dunking on Canada, just making it literal. Hayden as Mario Herron is an NBA analyst for the BetQL Network. He is also the executive producer of BetMGM Tonight, which airs on this station every single weeknight from 7 to 11. I will be on with, who's there tonight? Ryan and Tristan. Nope, Trista's out.
No, it's Denton Day and Nick Ashew.
Oh, dope. I love Denton. Denton's a dude. Denton's just a cooler version of me. Mario will be on there EPing tonight. I will be on there at 7:20. Appreciate you actually showing up, bud. This is very nice of you. Thank you for giving me 10 minutes.
No, look, anytime I'm not on vacation, I would be here for you till the end of time. And Alonzo, enjoy your vacation.
I will. And he gave you 20 minutes, not 10 minutes. I don't know. Your concept of
thank
time is way off.
I gave him 20 minutes.
Ooh. Wow.
See you next. Well, no, I'll see you in like 12 hours, man.
Yeah. Watch Hard Knocks if you're free.
Episode 1 deep. I like it. I like it. The Saquon thing's interesting. We'll talk about that next week, Mario. We got to run to a break.
Yeah.
See ya. Hating ass Mario Herron for the BetQL Network. Again, he'll be on BetMGM tonight. That show rolls from 7 to 11 right after Wire to Wire. I'll be on at 7:20. Should be good. We'll see how it goes. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. All right, big dog. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll see you guys.
See you in 10 hours. For the record, and I'll never tell him this. I love that guy.
Yeah, but
I
you're so mean to him. God,
He deserved it this time.
did he?
Yes.
I don't know.
The stand up in Destin was so hurtful. I
Yeah,
came
that's
up with
the
the
one.
phrase "war
That's the
cream on
one
my
that
heart."
bothers you. The fact that he wasn't here last week on the show doesn't bother.
Yeah,
you
I can get over
nearly as
that.
much.
I don't care about that.
He does care because it adds so much to the program when he's on. But
I would love to point out that I have worked hand in hand with Mario for 3 years. And we had a chance to meet up, and he just ghosted me like a cheap Tinder date.
that's ridiculous. Communist. That's what I think. Daggum commie right here on the fan.
I think at this point, Cole is just trying to tick me off with his sports.
Oh, he got
fudge.
me on that one too.
Yeah. I think Cole's just trying to make me mad, which is fine. So is everybody else in the building right now. So why not?
I just took one shot. That's it.
But you
That's-
took the deepest shot.
I did.
You cut the
I did.
deepest cut you
I
knew how to
got.
cut.
Well, no, there's a couple more I probably could do.
Everybody else is poking me with a fork, and you just macheted me.
Dude, especially knowing what I know today, I could go deeper, but I'm not doing that. But as far as I don't like the Olympics, I mean, Canada's not that far away. Move there. Go to Mexico. I mean, whatever.
You can't. Mexico loves the Olympics.
They do. You're right.
Everyone loves the Olympics. The Olympics are like the acclaimed of sport events.
Go back to Dallas.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cares about the Olympics. We're going to talk about the Cowboys. We ain't been relevant since 1997, but we're going to talk about the Cowboys.
You know what?
I'm just salty this morning, guys. Don't worry about
as
me.
an American, I'm hurt by that. I am that you could go on these airwaves and say such thing is this. It's not good.
Yeah,
New guys,
I don't
man.
let that take it
New
all.
guys. I mean,
My man gets the show, and all of a sudden he's got to feel his oats.
you
like
got to
that.
come at the country. No.
Well, I guess that just means that if you want exclusive coverage of the 2024 Summer Olympics, the Rob Brown Show every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. is your spot.
Well, Diesel's probably not going to do it. So you're probably right.
Exactly.
We believe in America and the red, white, and blue here on the Rob Brown Show, the award-winning Rob Brown Show. Yeah. But if hunting and fishing was on there, he'd be okay with it. I'm just saying. Hunting is that? Yeah, there's shooting in the Summer Olympics, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. And it's a great day to be alive. You think shame for that one? He just put that in my head.
Shooting sports have been included in every Summer Olympic
Mhm.
Games since 1896.
Since guns.
Yeah. I don't know. Muskets.
Musket shooting.
Muskets in this. Thinking how long that would
Blunderbuss
take.
competitions.
Yeah, how long will it take? They're like, hold on. What's the play-by-play like on that? No one puts powder in a gun faster than Johnson. There he goes. I don't know why I chose that word. Yeah, it was a poor.
Should have been
choice.
like Black-Eyed Bart.
Yeah. All right, it is time for the Fight Club right here on the Fan Upstate, where we believe in America. Just want to say that. Yes. And Olympics sports, including wrestling.
Yeah, Cole, I don't know what you're doing right now, bud.
Yeah, it's-
I don't know where you're coming from, Cole. The Olympics are incredible. Repping the red, white, and blue and beating everybody else's ass at their sports. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I really enjoy the Olympics, and it's all right. Your exclusive coverage right here on the Rob Brown Show. If you want to know about the Olympics, we got you covered.
And for the record, I love C Money Cole Bryson. I do. He's my dog, but that's a bad take, Cole. That's a bad take.
He has a right to his opinion.
Even when they're bad.
It doesn't mean that anyone's going to respect it or whatever you do with an opinion. All right, it is time, as I said, for the fight. And we're just fighting right now against Cole. I mean, I knew Diesel wasn't going to cover it, but Cole, I mean, come on, dude.
I'm just bringing fury this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it just hurts. All right, speaking of hurting, Drew McIntyre's hurting right now, Rob. You can't do anything because CM Punk keeps getting in his business. And I know he's had to give it to him a little bit too. But Money in the Bank was this weekend, and CM Punk really messed Drew McIntyre over again. And here's my question for you. Are we heading for a triple threat between Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk? Or, I mean, because Seth Rollins has to factor in. He got screwed over Saturday, too, by CM Punk.
He sure did. He sure did. I don't know is the answer. And how many times have we said? When you don't know where it's going, it's the best in wrestling. That doesn't always mean it's going to go somewhere good. But when you don't know what's the best answer, here's what I do know. This is my favorite angle in wrestling right now. Any company, any level. It's my favorite angle in wrestling. It is my favorite angle because we are, besides Kurt, who made a Hawk to a joke on Twitter the other day, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
He's been getting slammed for something, so that must be it.
He you know what? I reposted it on my Twitter last night. You can go look at it. It's the funniest thing that's ever happened on Twitter. Just also know that Kurt Angle referred to himself as your favorite Olympic champion, and I'm all in for that. So it's my favorite thing because it is one of those angles where it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Drew and CM Punk keep screwing each other over. Drew McIntyre embarrassed Punk by like movie beating the crap out of him and then dumping his lifeless body in front of the people of Chicago, Illinois, which is the thing CM Punk's most proud of, is being a Chicago boy, and then took the bracelet with his wife and kids. Like, this is great because it feels, Lonzo.
It's his wife and his dog. But I mean, he may think of his dog as his kid.
Yeah, whatever.
Some people do that.
Point is, it genuinely feels like a real thing, doesn't it? Like, it feels like this isn't like a wrestling angle. This feels like two dudes in a real life boxing outlet or a real life fighting outlet that have made it very, very personal. I love this. And the fact that Punk does everything Punk does, and McIntyre is the only one that catches a suspension, even if it was immediately lifted, was such a great touch to why McIntyre, it's the Thanos angle. You're right. Sorry. It's the Lebowski angle.
You're not wrong. You're just an...
And McIntyre's absolutely right to feel I love this angle. It's my favorite thing in wrestling.
I do too. Here's one thing that I hope happens. I hope we get some AJ Lee before this is over.
So do I.
Because they're making it very personal. And
one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite women in wrestling, etc. I will say this to the people that, and I think this is the part you got to talk about, and we're absolutely going long on this segment. Fight me. The thing that I love that a lot of people are about, why'd you waste the Money in the Bank briefcase on Drew? You didn't waste it. And here's why. For a story like this to work, you have to raise the stakes. The stakes, you can't do the same thing 2 or 3 times or else it gets very stale. That was the problem with Roman Reigns' run, right?
Absolutely.
The same thing over and over gets stale. You have to raise the stakes. Well, Drew has been cost the champion. He got cost an opportunity. Then he got cost the championship match. Then another. How do you raise the stakes? What is more guaranteed than a Money in the Bank briefcase? What is it, like 80-something% of cash ins?
I think it's 85,
right?
I believe.
All right. So almost 9 out of 10 cash ins are successful.
There's
right?
a handful of people were unable to cash in and get, like Baron Corbin, I think was one, Cena, one, and
usually when they fail,
Otis, if you count that one.
Yeah, he got it taken, which I still don't understand or like. But the point is, when one fails, it's usually part of a much larger story, right? So I understand a lot of people were like, put it on LA Knight, revitalize him, put it on Jey Uso, let's get him involved, and then Jimmy, whatever. The angle here is you have to raise the stakes of McIntyre Punk as we get closer and closer to SummerSlam, right? The only way to raise the stakes, Drew got cost the championship in a legitimate equal match. So how do you raise the stakes higher? Cost Drew McIntyre the championship in a match where he was 90% likely to be the winner. That's the highest way to cost him that thing. I thought it was spectacular.
All right. In that match, we've talked about this a little bit, I think on the stream, but not necessarily on the air. Our friend Damian Priest was supposed to kick out, or something was supposed to happen. And again, was he knocked out? I don't know. A few botches in that show, which is not something that's been happening a whole lot lately in the WWE.
It was,
so it was a little shocking.
Definitely a show that was relying on story more than wrestling, because it was a very average in-ring wrestling match. Here's what I will say.
Except for the women money in
which
the bank,
was excellent.
which was
Beyond excellent. It was very good.
Except for the fact that women cannot open the ladder. I mean, they weigh like 95 pounds, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. I mean, the ladder probably weighs more than
And
that.
also, so that you know, those ladders, they are not metal. Those ladders are wood. They're painted silver to look metal.
Nuh-uh.
Those ladders are wood, because wood gives, metal does not. Those are wooden ladders, right? So
When I step on a metal ladder, it gives quite a bit.
okay, well, we're a little heftier than Tiffany Stratton. It is Tiffy time, by the way. I don't think Priest was KO'd. In fact, if you look when the refs get into 3, you can see Damian's eyes roll up to look at it for the 2 count. That was a botch by production. McIntyre's music was supposed to slam it too, which would have ended the count, because the ref would have jerked around to see what was going on. That, to me, I am going to, and maybe it's because he is friend of the show, I'm going to let Priest off the hook. I don't think it was a Priest thing. I don't think it was a ref thing. I think it was a late hit of McIntyre's music, and that's what caused it. Either way, even with that botch, still phenomenal story within that match, and that was a match that relied on story, which I appreciated.
All right, speaking of Damian Priest, on Monday Night Raw, he was talking to someone on the phone, and that someone was Rhea Ripley, who returned to the surprise of Dominic Mysterio,
This
who
is
was
like a really huge deal.
he was in a compromising position, and
loins have been tingling.
he had finally given in. At least it looked like he had finally given in, and there she is. But the thing is, are Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest about to be expelled from the Judgment Day?
So this is real interesting, because you've got one other thing that's going on right now, and that's Finn Balor in the background. And Lonzo, for the record, if this turns out to be true, Lonzo's going to get his stinking Genius of the Month badge, because he called this like 8 months ago that like Finn and Liv are going to be the ones working together ultimately to screw over Dom and Rhea and split everybody up so that Finn can be the new leader of the Judgment Day. And then during the pay-per-view, when Damian came to grab his belt and go to the ring, and he's like, do not come out there, leave me alone. Finn looked at him. He's like, whatever you say, boss. Right? Like it was that kind of like, okay, it's a little on the nose, but we get what you're doing here. I think you called this one spot on correct. The question is, the question is, do Rhea and Damian like form a new thing as like the two of them as because I'm assuming Rhea's going to get her belt back at some point as like their new championship faction? Do they go their own way? Do they go their own way? AA? Like, I don't know.
Does Rhea work as a babyface? I don't think she does.
Rhea works right now however you want her. I think, honestly, despite the fact that she's a heel, Rhea has been a babyface for a couple of years now. She just is, right? You can put her in a heel faction. But unlike Damian Priest, what has Rhea done to cheat? What has Rhea done to steal? What heel thing has Rhea Ripley done during her time as champ? Nothing. She's won every match clean. She's won every match straight away. She's gotten little to no help from the Judgment Day.
Turned Dom against his dad, and yeah, I mean, there's some.
I mean, you can say that's a heel move, but Dom was already doing that pre-Rhea.
How is no, he wasn't, and how is she's the one who did it. She supposedly kidnapped him and supposedly beat him up, and then suddenly he turned on his dad. No, that's a heel move.
Also, Rhea can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah, obviously, because you kind of forgot that.
She's the babiest of baby faces.
All right, I know we're going long here, but Solo called out Roman Reigns.
So the story, obviously, now with the Bloodline, and for the record, this was a total rejuvenation of the Bloodline storyline for me.
Sure.
When they rolled out Solo as kind of like the interim chief, I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm out. Solo coming out and calling out Roman. Now I'm all back in for, because the story is now the former enforcer who thinks he's the boss and he thinks he's the guy. Like, the reason all his suits don't fit and all that, I think is part of the story, right? Like, this guy does not know how to be the tribal chief, and he's doing a hostile takeover. By the way, Paul Heyman.
Oh, yeah. Great job.
Paul
Great job. Yes.
Heyman. Iconic performance on Raw 2 weeks ago. I really like this now. Not only do I like it, the thing that makes it even better is that Tama Tonga and Jacob Fett, like the guys in the background, they are legitimate badasses.
They all seem to be psychotic, which
Yeah.
has been, I guess, what they are everywhere they go.
And that makes it work because
It
when it
does make it
was
work.
Bloodline 1.0, it was Roman, and even Solo didn't work as an enforcer because he lost every match.
He did.
He lost every match. He was like 0-14 as the enforcer of the Bloodline. So he kind of lost that edge, which I think was a little bit a part of that story too. These three lunatics are terrifying. Terrifying. My man Jacob Fatu taking the Randy Orton DDT off the rope and then just popping back up. I was like, oh crap. Because that's the first time I've seen anybody do that from Randy in like 20 years. And it was a pop moment. This story in the last 3 weeks, great one, since Clash at the Castle when Fatu showed up, this story is better than like the last 3 months of the lead up to Roman v. Cody Rhodes Volume 3.0.
I agree. Two more things really quick. Bo Dallas showed up in Pierce's office.
I did see that.
Yeah. So people worried about it, everything being supernatural and all that kind of stuff. I still believe that we're going to get to see the wrestlers as wrestlers when they go in. And that the other thing is just part of their way of, I don't know, messing with people.
And for the record, I'm good with it. Like I've said for years that if I ever got a redo and I was gonna go into professional wrestling instead of broadcasting, you know what my gimmick would be? The guy who knows all the gimmicks, right? I'd be a professional wrestling fan who became a professional wrestler. I know all the gimmicks. Like for instance, I would want to have a match where I had like the whole supernatural thing, but then the vignette that rang before was me punching out the effects guy and stealing a fog machine and setting it up before the match, right? Like that. Here comes Rob Brown and the ring's full of smoke and there's lasers. But then before that, you would see me running out there and setting up the fog machine so that I had fog in the ring. I hope that's what they do, but it's still creepy weird.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pull it off.
It is. And finally, they said his name and he appeared last night, Joe Hendry on NXT. And it was good. It was really good.
We all believe in Joe Hendry. All right. We just believe in Joe Hendry.
Lots of people posting yesterday that they believed.
Except Booker T.
Right. Booker T not down with it.
Booker T does not believe in Joe Hendry. And I hate it.
He's the heel guy. He's supposed to do that.
I do love Booker T. Book's the best. All right. That's Fight Club early because Lonzo's leaving us tomorrow for a whole week. He's going to text me pass interference jokes while he's gone, I'm sure.
If I text anyone, it will be you, Rob Brown.
Yay.
Because usually I try not to have anything to do with work when I'm gone.
Yay. Can't wait. Back after this to wrap up the show. Rob Brown, the great one, Lonzo, and you. It's the Fan Upstate.
The gunpowder thing is hilarious, James. I would have mentioned it on the air, but I couldn't work it in anywhere. So, but yeah, that's great. And now I know why. I thought about why, and me and my wife were discussing this. The reason why I don't like Booker's girl, the champion, NXT champion, Roxanne, is because she's trying to be AJ Lee.
It's fair.
That's what I think it is, and you can't do that, or she can't do that.
I loved AJ
It can
Lee.
be done. I mean, Tatum Paxley does it better than her.
I like Tatum Paxley a lot too.
Oh, I don't think you watch it.
I haven't watched Heat Rave or last night yet.
She dances with a doll, a little doll in the background. It's great.
Can't wait.
It's one of those hidden NXT anonymous things. It's really good.
All right, guys, 15 seconds. Be right back. I believe in Joe Hendry.
So I was just thinking I need to update the chapters while I'm updating the chapters. Nothing says I'm nearly on vacation like that.
Senioritis.
Will not put up with your ageism. I'm talking to HR.
It's not an age thing. We've went over this.
Yeah, but I forgot because of my senioritis.
Keeping an eye on what is going to happen with U.S. soccer manager Greg Berhalter, primarily because earlier this week I was on BetMGM Tonight and had a conversation about Greg with former U.S. men's national team player Eric Wynalda. If you missed that interview, I have posted it on our YouTube channel, the Fan Upstate's YouTube channel. Posted, well, I did you a favor. Not only did I post the interview, but I went in and I cut out everything that wasn't about Greg Berhalter. So I cut out all the talk about Euros and Copa America and all that. So if you want to kind of know what Wynalda had to say, it's on the Fan Upstate YouTube channel right now, that full interview from BetMGM Tonight earlier this week. But the part that is important, the part is in play right now, is that Wynalda said we could probably, not definitely, probably expect some sort of update today. I was like, all right, what's taking so long? Why is this a thing, right? Like, one of two things should happen. The fans, including the two major supporters groups, the American Outlaws and Barra 76, have both put out official sponsorship group endorsed messages to U.S. Soccer asking for the team to move on from Greg Berhalter. So what is taking so long right now? And the answer from Eric Wynalda, was that U.S. Soccer had to get everybody together. U.S. Soccer had to get the players together and on the same page, had to get everybody together, the players in the same locker room. The response from Wynalda, Ronaldo should not be involved at all. The response from Eric Wynalda was that this was going to be a decision that was going to be made by the entire federation. And because of that, they wanted everybody from the federation in the building, which is fine, except for the big man that is in charge of making the decision. The CEO of the organization, JT Batson, was at the Euro Cup. Now, I had to look into this. I had to do a little bit of research on this great one, and it took me a little while to get through because it was very in-depth research. But I did the research. And it turns out, and I learned this last night, it turned out the United States is not in Europe. Were you aware? Did you know this?
It's going to take me a week to fathom what you just said. I just need to go away for a while and ponder it.
Yeah, I really had to think about it. The chief of U.S. Soccer was again in Europe, which is, and this is also, again, this is true, not where America is. So at a point in time where this team is going through absolute chaos right now. Absolute chaos right now. At a point in time where this team is floundering. And it is. It's absolutely floundering. Oh, sorry, it's Matt Crocker. I said JT Batson. It's not. It's Matt Crocker. Matt Crocker, who will have to sign off on the decision, is at the Euros. So the U.S. gets eliminated from Copa America. Embarrassingly, the first ever Copa home team to be bounced when they were hosting in the group stage. He's got the entire American fan base up in arms. A huge decision to be made. And my man is sitting and just watching soccer we have nothing to do with in Europe. Oh, by the way, on a trip that is paid for by U.S. Soccer. Why? Now, he can come back and he can make the argument, oh, I was over there watching the best teams in the world to figure out how they run so we can bring that. No. Dude, come home. We got a decision to make. You're on our dime over there watching the Euros, being a fan. That's bull crap. That's bull crap.
And now, the Rob Brown Show presents.
That's a good start because I would have run that all the way to the end of the show.
Yeah, I was enjoying it. Well, I mean, the rule is there. You change rules all the time.
Unfreaking believable, this jackass.
All right, time for my What the X for a week. The first thing that's Xing is Gladiator 2.
I watched that trailer probably 20 times yesterday. Like probably 20 times. I have a couple of takeaways. Number one, the enormous Rome-wide battle scenes, IMAX. Got to see it in IMAX. Number two, and I say this sincerely and respectfully, can I tell you how much I love ancient Rome Denzel just being Denzel?
I was going to ask, why is Denzel in there? Because he did the laugh thing
He's just Denzel.
Yeah,
it's just Denzel. It's training day Denzel, except this time he's training gladiators. I am all in. I don't know why I love it. I should hate it. There's like 90% of actors that if they typecasted into ancient Rome, like, could you imagine if you sent, I don't know, like Tom Cruise into that role, but he was Top Gun Tom Cruise? Like, you'd be like, this is dumb and I hate it. But for some reason, Denzel's such a badass that I'm like, this is awesome. This is awesome. Denzel being Denzel in ancient Rome, sign me up.
What if it was Nick Cage? Could you handle Nick Cage being in ancient Rome?
Oh, dude. Nick Cage, that's why I said 90% and not 100%.
All right.
Nick Cage, it's Gladiator. Like, I'm so in for that. I think it's Nick Cage.
Keanu Reeves would be excellent in the movie.
I am Spartacus?
Yeah.
Like, you sign me up.
All right. The next thing is Xing is Oreos.
I don't know why it's trending. What I do know is the other day that I saw a video from somebody saying that Oreos have demon markings on them and that they're evil and they're from Satan. And my thought was, if Satan gave us Oreos, maybe he's not that bad. Because Oreos are incredible.
I've never heard that before. I'll have to go buy like 25 packs of Oreos to research.
Got to test them out, for sure.
Speaking of 25 packs of Oreos, it's Xing because some woman named Angela Simmons got naked in a bathtub full of Oreos.
Angela Simmons is a New York City producer and actress known for her role in 2015 Supermodel.
You should put Oreos on the end of that.
I ain't afraid.
Yeah, I mean, no, it seemed clean as it can be.
Okay, listen, of the artsy model shoots the last few years, and she's holding a wine glass with milk in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
respect
guess that's this. I don't think you're dunking in that.
I
glass,
respect this.
Though. Maybe you are. Okay. The next thing is Xing is Shrek 5.
Announced by DreamWorks yesterday, 2026, I believe, we'll see the release of Shrek 5. And if I made you pick a series right now that you can only watch one, Fast and the Furious or Shrek, because I'm going Shrek. Those movies are hilarious.
See, you picked those two. I think you should have picked another cartoon series, but I would probably go Fast and Furious.
No chance.
Because there are a lot more of them. So
Shrek's usage of genuinely hilarious adult comedy in a kid's movie is beyond appreciated.
That's why you're into it.
My favorite one ever is when Donkey's getting arrested and instead of having pepper spray, they use a pepper grinder on him and he starts screaming police brutality. It's one of my favorite things in a movie. Hilarious.
Okay, that's weird. And finally, the last thing that's Xing is hashtag long legs.
Yeah, I'm changing this one up because that's a horror movie and I don't care. The
Yeah,
Hawk
but Nick Cage
Tua
is in it,
girl,
though.
the Hawk
I don't care
Tua
about the
girl
Hawk Tua
got
girl.
paid 30 grand to make a one-night appearance at a nightclub last night. Get the bag, young lady. Get the bag.
okay.
Good for you.
Okay.
You have translated a meme into getting the people to give you 30 grand to just show up at a club. Get the bag, young lady.
All right.
At a girl.
You've been influenced by influencers again. Way to go.
I don't care. If a professional wrestler can get 50 grand to show up to a night, why can't Hawk Tua girl catch 30K for making a hilarious joke?
Make your money, lady, I guess.
Exactly. Get the bag.
Hey, goodbye.
That's what make that money make. Enjoy your vacation, bud.
I will, but I will miss this place.
Oh yeah, for
A
sure.
little bit.
For sure. Because I care about y'all, we'll be back tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of your day. See you back here tomorrow on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate. Wait for it. Where'd it go? Wait for
We
it.
only have so much time, dude. Come on.
Later.
I really don't give a.
That's what's up. All right, dudes and dudettes, you're all spectacular people. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow. Lonzo won't because he hopes that your morning stinks for the next 2 days.
Go load your muskets and try to avoid violations. That's all I'm saying.
I believe in Johan. All right, y'all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here. You're stellar people. I love you very much. Tell your friends about us. Goodbye.